this afternoon. But hi guys, my name is Nami. I kind of make music. Um, I've been doing it since I was 13. Love doing it since I was 13. It was the favorite thing to do since I was 13. It's still my favorite thing to do. I make different styles of music, and whatever really comes to mind as an inspiration. I'm 19 years old now, um, and uh, uh, very recently, a lot of good stuff started happening in my career that I'm very proud and grateful of. But before that, was a lot of being tired and sleepless nights, and then they happen, and then you're still tired and you're still sleepless. So it's, it does
Bad.
it doesn't really change much. But Eli would tell y'all how I was in his DMs about a year and a half ago, just like on every other person's DM, especially trying to get me a Kingsway sample pack and trying to be a part of everything I thought was cool and popping because I was trying to reach any type of success I could for my career. Because obviously I'm very young, but I've also been chasing this so-called for a while, and I have African parents. So if you're actually gonna take a stab at your dream, you might as well just fucking go all the way and crazy because we don't take that many risks in my culture like that, especially on things like music. So it's been great to see everything that's been happening very recently. I'm glad a Zoom class where I get to talk about it because in any other instance it's bragging. But very recently,
Yeah.
I ended up on my first major placement with Bryson Tiller, which so happens to be, as Eli would confirm,
This,
my dream placement.
this
Bryson Tiller's album Trap Soul really inspired me to go in and finding out what chords really mean instead of just drawing MIDI on the black notes and putting Southside type of drums on them. Figuring out what 90s R&B really represented, what it was, and why were people falling in love with that type of music so much, and why was Tory Lanez sampling it, why was Bryson Tiller sampling it, why was Drake sampling it on every other R&B song, why was Party Next Door using it. And I was like, okay, there's a certain feeling of nostalgia that comes with music like that. Let me learn how to give that back. So at first, um yo, they saying they can't record.
fuck. It'll be a bitch to get all you guys record since I had to do it individually. So I'm gonna do a master one, and in the Discord I'll have one, but it's gonna expire. So you guys, right after like maybe 24, 40 hours, if you guys don't get it, oh man, I can't give it to you.
Oh man,
Yeah, well, yeah. Continue. My bad.
I see some names I recognize. Shout out Miji, Oma, shout out everybody in here. By the way,
Mm,
really appreciate
mm,
you giving me your time. I'm honored. I could never think in my life that I'd have 68 people looking at my sleepy ass as soon as I
mm.
wake, talking about what I've done so far. But um, yeah, it was my dream placement. It all came after me just developing this big passion towards art, what music really means and represents when you go into the depth of soul and feeling for real. Because at my age, being this young, and I feel like a lot of you guys would relate, R. Kelly and Usher wasn't really a part of my R&B world. These are
Hmm.
mostly for the older generations. The incredible R&B singers and musicians that have existed beforehand, just as singers, because R. Kelly definitely went out that path, and just so happened to not be present when I was trying to listen to new music. It was mostly what Chris Brown, Drake, Tory Lanez, Bryson Tiller. If we go a little further back, obviously the dream and whatnot growing up, but not that much. So my first introduction for real to a type of music that I could understand and appreciate, but with soul in it, was trap soul, funny enough by its name. So wrote that on my whiteboard, just like this one. I have like three of these in my rooms. I have one that's right here, but I can't show you. And I have another one that's right there. And I just
Mm.
write things down. I just write things down. I write them on here too. I just write things down. And during today's conference, I'm gonna go over a lot of technical stuff. Just gonna be cool, but I'm also go and talk a lot about what takes to reach that technical level and why it's important to really cherish and protect yourself mentally throughout it all, because it's really what has been my best accomplishment this far, was to really just stay sane and keeping
Mm.
myself motivated and um, all those extras. So, running down the list real quick, I ended up also 2 weeks after my dream placement, which is, by the way, when that dropped, cried my ass off. Don't let
Oh
nobody
shit.
cry.
Holy shit.
Placement is your major joint and you've been working your whole life, bro. Fucking
That's a,
cry, bro.
that's a crazy one. What?
I was happy. I was just so happy. I was just so happy because I didn't think it would happen that fast in my career. But what I undermined was all those countless hours of work I put in just because I enjoyed it. You feel me? I was having this talk with Eli the other day. I'm like, it's so crazy how just because this is our passion and we love what we do, we tend to undermine the hours of work we do. We tend to forget that, yo, we go to sleep sometimes at 5 in the morning trying to figure a snare out. A lot of times, a lot of days and months and years doing little things like that, little sacrifices on our sleep, on our social activities, on a lot of things, but we don't even look at it as a sacrifice because we appreciate what we do. So it was the first time it hit me when they called me for that placement. It was the first time it hit me. All that sacrifice came into this one joyous moment, and I couldn't help myself. So that was a really nice moment, and now I love that moment.
Mm.
So I keep chasing it.
Mm.
And obviously things normalize over time. Um, things kind of get less exciting. I'm not gonna lie. It becomes more of a, how do I stay motivated and how do I, if this is you guys is, which I would expect because it's late and very early in different parts of the world that you guys is watching. So if you guys are here right now watching, I'm gonna go ahead and bet you guys really want to do music with your lives. And if that's the case, just remember that all that effort will amount to something. I don't want to go ahead and be super TED talky.
Yo, what the heck? Come on, show. Keep going.
Uh,
This is
so
bad.
then, 2 weeks later, after the Bryson Tiller song, Ariana Grande dropped. Um, I had two songs on a project. Was extremely honored to be a part.
Wait, hold up, hold up. If you cried on Bryson Tiller, what happened with Ari?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. It didn't. It was okay. It was. It
Oh, okay, okay.
was no. It was. I was extremely proud and honored to be on the project, right? But
Yeah,
it wasn't wowing because my whole life I didn't wait to get an Ariana placement.
yeah,
Was it my first? Like it wasn't the first moment after years of something big connecting. So I felt
yeah.
like that moment was so special. That's why I was like, you guys should go ahead and appreciate it once you guys get that moment. A lot of us try to overlook, especially if we're around guys who've gotten tens and thousands of them. We try to act like, oh, this is just another one. Nah, bro, you just made a project where thousands and thousands of people sent thousands and thousands of files for. It's submissions from every email possible to find. And it's people who, just because they have access to that artist, you have so many people hitting them up. So if you actually end up landing, assuming you're coming from the bottom like most of us, you're coming from nobody's fucking with you, nobody knows your name at all, to figuring your way into somebody's album. You guys understand how that transition is insane? So it takes a lot of networking, and a lot of you guys and a lot of us in this producer community are undermined and overlooked for our networking capabilities. But it's very crazy how we can go from just an Instagram account that our grandma comments on every 3 pictures and finding our way into albums. That's insane. But
Yeah.
value that, because the same guy you DM'd that by chance DM'd you back, that you've been sending samples for or beats to, and it's been the 50th beat you sent, and just know that there's like at least 10 more guys just like you sending 50 beats. And now you're going through, that's just one guy that knows that one artist. Now you're gonna center about 10 or hundreds of more people around them that all are receiving stuff left and right, just to get this one dream placement that a million kids want. And then for you to actually end up on one, that means that your music is really good.
Yeah,
That
facts.
music is really good. It means that your music translated through thousands of files. Don't ever forget that. So the reason why you might not get a placement is as just as justifiable for as the reason that you might get it. You feel me? Eventually, if you can, I want you to break down the it is to be able to create like you did for me.
Facts.
You-
One question though. One question though. And what's crazy about how you're thinking is like, where are you from? Tell everybody where exactly you're from.
okay, so I'm from Cape Verde, West Africa. It's a little country. It's a little group of 10 islands um, in the West African coast. The total population is like 500,000. We're close to nothing. We are a country. I'm not gonna go too much into geography, but we are a country that was formed after slavery. So the ships that would do the triangle trade, the slave trade, would go to the Americas, and then go to Europe, and then when they would come to Africa to pick up slaves and resources, they would stop in Cape Verde because that was a midway point just off the West African coast before you get to the Americas, and the whole country was born off of slaves that stayed, masters and Europeans that stayed, Americans that came over here on that trade, and we're one of the most mixed countries on earth because of that. Because we were like if a country was born out of an airport, if that makes any sense. So
Yeah.
not we're not that wealthy. We're mostly sand and beaches and fucking music. And I grew up listening to a lot of music. I was grateful for that. My parents always let me go and explore my musicality. And then one day I was like, ah, fuck it. Let's go and do what everybody wants to do. But I'm gonna make it though. I
Mm,
just had to I just had
mm.
to believe in myself. And things switched since then, which I'm gonna get into detail a little more later. But one thing I will say for a fact is I still don't understand how I got here. I have no clue. I have slipped through every crack I can think of. It's
Yeah.
I I hate blaming it on luck because such thing doesn't exist. We are hard fucking workers, and that's about it. But when you love what you do, you tend to overlook the work. So I'm finding myself in the studio with Ariana Grande. Well, that she's walking around and just writing and singing, and I'm listening to the album before it drops, and there's a beat I worked on being played, and I'm sitting back like, whoa. Whoa, it's little moments like that that come here and there where you're just like, hold on. And all I want to say is, it's not all I want to say. Just a nice way to
Mm.
go in sentence. But make sure that as you progress into your career, make sure you value those moments, because I've had the temptation of so often to overlook them. I've had the temptation so often to be like, oh, this is just another one. Oh, that's normal now. It really isn't. It really isn't, especially if you value other people's sacrifices for you. You feel me? Let me give you an example. For me to even be around one of the biggest stars on earth, it took a guy called Reese to trust my funky
Wait,
profile.
hold up. Before we can get there, can I stop you before it? 'Cause I'm about to get you to get there in depth.
I wanted to
Eh,
turn mics up.
Huh?
That's why I wanted to.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I'm gonna hold it down. I want to get that into depth, but I would say if you got one sample you want to show everybody, do that. Then we'll talk about that situation.
That was good. That's
Yeah,
good.
all right, Brett. All right, yo.
And
Um, what's up?
what mind if you know any that you would like to see me go through, and if I see a name that's very, like if I see a name of example that's common, I'll
So yeah. All
pull it.
right. Oh my gosh, you don't even ask bad shit. Holy. So we seen Tarantino's Revenge twice, three times, four times.
Yeah, Tarantino's Revenge.
That's a thing. Yeah, that's a thing, yo. But no, I just know this the re-story and what it has done for you very, very well. And it's like mad insightful. But I want you to really go in for real, because I feel like
Right after the sample, because I
right
can't.
after, yeah, nah, facts. You got to.
Hey, remember, to be a successful musician, you have to appreciate the people who've helped you. Don't ever
That's not cap.
be any dude on Twitter talking about how the sample guys are this and the drum guys are that. Don't ever be the dude talking about I did it by myself. If you did, then fucking kudos to you. But
Chances are no one did it by themselves, to be honest.
it doesn't matter, bro. Nobody gives us.
I know.
But let me go to let me load this project and then I'm gonna share my screen because you know them plug
Cool.
they start
Cool.
loaded and
All right.
whatnot. But in the
While
meantime,
while that is happening, talk a little bit about drum breakers, sample packs, all of that, and samples, and what was your introduction to that?
okay, I'm gonna go through that right now. Let me just get this on because I have attention deficit and I can't do two things at once.
Houston Fornication was with Wallace Lane, bro.
You said the fornication. What about
Oh,
7?
damn.
Did
I
that on
think I think he was trolling, trying to diss seven or something.
nah. Hey man, we not dissing in here. We not getting
Maybe.
speak on anything.
I'm dead.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff to speak on in the music industry, to be honest.
Nah, especially on a public platform, I can't.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I'm only 19, so I gotta find my steps for a um um sample samples.
Yeah, yo.
It's interesting that I'm here talking to people who are interested in listening today and realize exactly why. I briefly commented on it at the start of the class, but a year and a half ago, I found out that I wanted to make samples. or 2 years ago by now. Yeah, it's almost 2 years now. I was listening through songs, and the random idea came to my mind. I was like, how are these sounds being created? It was simple as that question. And I was like, sorry guys, it's fucking airheads. It's taking me a moment to chew. This is the last one. I mean, um, I'm like, why are these moments being created? That why are these? How are these songs being created? What are these sounds? They're not soul chops. They're not. Why are these vocals going on? And why is there bass lines? And why are these things happening sonically that I can't figure out? So my first thought was, okay, let me study it. So now I'm listening to 15, 20-minute long YouTube videos on called The Drum Broker. And I'm listening to it head to toe. And I'm finding people I like and I'm finding people I dislike because of certain types of sonics and certain types of approaches they had. And I was studying by listening. And then I'm like, I'm going to buy some of these. So I go and find a few packs I wanted to buy because I knew. So I went and bought Eli Brown's pack. I bought Wallace Lane. I bought Cure Volume 1. Coop the Truth was still not on Kingsway. And I went and bought Mara Luciano, Entitled 15th. That's the name of the pack. And I fell in love with those packs. For the ones that had stems, I put all of them on my YouTube, on my FL Studio playlist, sprung them down, listen to each stem one by one. Just listen. Okay, this bass is a bass, but it has a lot of white noise that happens every time it plays. Then I'm going, this vocal is dope, but it's literally losing volume. It's getting volume dropouts out of nowhere, and this is happening to it, and it sounds like it's a casual vocal, but four man shifted instead of pitch down. I didn't know what four man was back then. So I'm just thinking this is people pitching it down. So this comes into the story of Nami figuring how to do vocals on his sample because that was home to me. I first started producing to be an artist because I wanted to make my own beats, and then fell in love with producing. So I started producing for homies and making mixtapes for them, and then fell in love with graphic designing. So I started making artwork for them, and fell in love with making videos and whatnot. So I started fucking editing videos and stuff for people. I always go for stuff I love and try and learn it to the best that I can. So let me read the comments real quick. I have an essay worth 20% of my grade, but not me class is a priority. This guy is so cool. Um, then I went ahead and just studied, and then one of those packs happened to have Creator offer classes. So I signed up for Mario Luciano's class and did his class. It was a great class. But the best thing I learned from it was not what plugins to use or what things to do with the EQ and how to run stuff through amps and whatnot. The best thing I learned was to trust in my name instead of someone else's name.
Is Broski frozen? Ooh. Oh, they got him. They got him. The man said that. Looking through the vaccine. Holy. Are you back?
You guys hear me?
Now we hear you. You're saying that it about your name and don't trust somebody else's name.
basically. So that's the biggest thing I learned. It was to trust my name. And honestly, I won't even judge you guys in here if you don't believe it at first, because I was just like that. I was in the middle of Mario's class going, yeah, don't worry. And I was still trying to chase Frank Dukes' name after the class. I was submitting stuff. It was always that case. He was like, "Yeah, man, take a bet on yourself instead of someone else's name." And first thing I did once I was over with the class is start working on my Kingsway submission. Yeah, I didn't get it,
The-
and then once I couldn't, it forced me to go, man, fuck it. I'm gonna drop it myself on my own website. Created my website. Got $150 from my dad and was like, "Can I please get $250?" He was like, "What for?" I'm like, "For artwork." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Trust me." And he gave me $250. I went and paid for the artwork, which was my expense besides the $30 for getting a Shopify. And I put my kid out, my my Nami Music Library Insomnia Volume One came out, if I'm not mistaken, September of 2019. You know what I mean? So that's not that long ago.
yeah,
And
it's not.
when that dropped, nobody knew me at all. I remember when the first famous ish person followed me, it was Cardiac Flatline, and I flipped my lid. You know what I mean? And a week after I dropped on my, a really good friend called Came One that really believed in my stuff connected me with somebody at Drum Broker, and I got the chance to release myself through Drum Broker because the owner of Drum Broker was very interested. And I'm going in from doing $60 in a week on my own site to being connected to a way bigger audience. And I have no clue what type of money I'm about to receive. I have no idea. I'm like, yo, I'm officially on the website that I used to buy things from. You feel me? I am officially on a website that I used to go through and find out what I like and go and buy to study, not to flip, to study. So I hope I make my money back. and and the first month hit, that's when I realized they love my shit. I was like, this is crazy.
Wait,
I
what's
can
it?
all
Uh,
the go ahead.
Insomnia. Insomnia was the one that did it for you, or was it the other one
That did what?
that did it for you? Where you saw the potential of,
Was Ondas. And
yeah.
made me see that people actually are spending money out of their pocket for my product. That was a crazy concept, even though I created a whole store. I went and did the whole thing, but I was still surprised people were spending their money. I was like, this is insane. I would never. But I went ahead and started working on Ondas. That was around August.
Hmm.
And I went on this and worked on it and worked on it. And then when I'm done with it, I'm like, I need two samples. Was a business move. This was not a strictly inspirational artist and blah blah blah. This was me going, I need an R&B sample that's gonna be in your face that you can't help but buy my pack. Then I need a Travis Scott sample because that's what everybody looks for. And I went and did those. One of those was called Good News, and the other one was called 90s Heartbreak. And then, hold on, that's called Confessions on. This is insane. Now imagine how many people torrented cheat. God. Okay. That's also a thing we're gonna get into. I did 90s Heartbreak and I did Good News, put it on the pack, watch it fly. And it did exactly what I wanted it to do. I had just enough crowd from Insomnia so that when I gave people Ondas, it went crazy because the preview sample was that 90s heartbreak joint. And I knew what that was gonna cause because every time I went and bought packs, it was samples that sounded like that. So that slowly became my sound. That slowly became, yo, why does this sound like a sampled song? But it's not. And that goes back into me being a fan of Bryson Tiller and Tory Lanez and all these guys that were using 90s nostalgia to make their songs with. And I was like, I need to recreate that. So I tried.
Which right there is a massive gem, massive gem right there.
Creation of feeling is my biggest gift. I'm grateful for it because I am now at a point, and this is I say this with no lack of humility, but I'm not in a point in my life where I don't doubt myself when it comes to creating sounds. When I hear something, I know how to go and make it because I've went through every preset on every plugin and have listened to every YouTube tutorial there is. So now I have the tools to be like, if I want something to sound like this is what I'll use. And you guys should definitely take notes on that because that I just told you guys I studied like a madman. I just went and studied.
Yo, bro, I spent like $1,000 on samples like in 2018, like straight.
Studying. But
Yeah.
this is also a little tangent on the conversation. I'm gonna go for 1 minute and come back. Study music that will help you be original. Don't study to copy. You feel me? I have very recently been listening to a lot of new samples in music that have made me feel like people are not trying their best to go away from what inspired them. And that's okay because that's a part of their growth. All I want to say is there's a lot of people doing samples now. It's popping, it's fun, it's a new thing. Make sure that you distance yourself from the crowd so that even people who are as young as in their career as me can notice you. Because if everybody, it's no longer the Q Beats wave, but there was a time everybody was trying to sound like Q Beats. And producers could really just go in their emails and choose from a random weird email, and they're pretty sure to get the vibe they needed that day. And it was okay because Q Beats is not even that present socially, but I get to go stop copying my friends. You feel me? I get to say that because there's no wins on that. My friends, Eli, Coop, and so many more talented friends of mine who have developed their sound into having an identity. They're already moving up their career. And as we're moving up as a collective, this is my class. Eli is my class. You feel me? Coop is my class. Treat this as school years. Look at your peers. All you guys today, participants on the Zoom class, you guys are probably all in the same class. You guys need to try and graduate together. When I used to talk to these guys, I used to be like, yo, these Grammy seats are gonna be us. I see it. There's no way. There's not every single one of us that I know sitting on those Grammy seats. But I know how we equally put in effort and knowing each other, we're gonna constantly help each other. So the next album I'm working in, I'm gonna ask Eli for a pack. You feel me? And Eli has way more chances of getting on it than somebody else because he's in my class. We came and tried to walk together. Even though I came later, I consider these guys my peers. You feel me? And there's a good thing and a bad thing about it because a guy like me that already has my class, the only reason why I will work with somebody new is if I really like your music. So that also goes into don't ever pay for a collab. That's corny. You feel me? But I would never pay somebody to work with them. So if people actually work with you and they're somewhere in their career, just assume they really, really like your music because they probably already have their class. So for people to do that, you need to be original. You need to be confident in your sound and just keep doing what you're doing without diverging and going into what people's doing. Because what you end up noticing is what very recently has been happening a few times on Twitter. Who commented about it? I commented about it. Few people's commented about it. It's it's a few people copying my stuff, and I went and listened on some releases, and it's a few releases that sound very isolationist, and that's okay
Even
because
to
I
this day,
what
even to this day, like
yeah, exactly, and I'm like that's okay because what does that mean? That just means that we did a great job. You feel me? But I myself get to tell you guys in here that that does not matter. You feel me? Like I I'm nowhere near offended when I hear people sound like me because I know what I can do. You feel me? I'm never threatened. I'm not a plug-in or one-shot talent. It's what I have in here that really counts. So when I hear that, my only duty is to come and tell y'all that's cool for sales, but that's not going to be great for longevity. So all I can do with that is give advices. Is be like, hey guys, your music is dope. Try not staying on this because there's already me. You feel me? There's already a Coop. You feel me? And Coop is not gonna somehow step into the shadows so you shine. So you gotta find your own light, especially by going and trying to sound like somebody. All these amazing producers, once you get into this community, man, it's super small. We all know each other. That's why as soon as somebody drops a pack and there's a sample that sounds like mine, I get like 5 or 6 or 7 DMs right after it drops. It's like, yo, listen to the last one on this slide. And I'm like, yeah, shout out. I don't, it's okay. It's okay.
mhm.
Remember that originality will save you because now you're just being chosen out of a bunch of people marketing this product, and that's the worst thing for business. You feel me? And Eli, what was your question again?
I mean Tarantino's Revenge. Load up.
It's up.
Yeah, I'm dead. I'll ask a question after.
No, but basically what I wanted to
But
what
that segue, it can segue into Tarantino's Revenge. So how that come about when you start showing the project, obviously.
so the whole sampling world, me dropping ondas, I was then getting very, very close and with a friend that today is one of my favorite people and an amazing producer called Coop the Truth. And he taught me a lot. We went and worked on a lot. And through that, I met Teddy. And me, Teddy, and Coop became like this trifecta, working with each other and just providing sounds for each other. And next thing you know, I'm working on this pack with Teddy after dropping mines with Coop, which is a whole different tangent because that pack is incredible. Me and Teddy started working, and I started understanding how incredibly talented Teddy Jones is, and how much you can get from somebody else's perspective, how valuable it is. Somebody else's different approach to sound and how she dares and has the audacity to do certain things and not do certain things. And that all helped me when I would receive the stuff she would send and when I would send stuff for her. At first, we were aiming for a pack, and then we were working so much that we forgot it was for a pack, which is the best thing ever to happen, ever. The thing you want in music. And we forgot we were working for a pack. So I just kept getting stuff, working on them, giving this approach, that approach, and then when we were kind of finished, I went and listened to the thing in its entirety, and I was like, oh, damn, this is this is too much. This is not a sample pack. This is not a loop pack. This is
Experience. Movie.
it's the sonic experience. It's damn near an album. And while we were so worried Where I'm like, yo, is this too experimental? Is this too this or too that? I'm like, none of this sounds like anything I've ever heard. None of it. None of the sounds on there sound like anything I've ever heard. And I was super proud of it. But at the same time, going for the sample pack release thing, we were aiming for sales. This is how we make money at the end of the day. This is how we get to afford living. So I'm like, this is probably not gonna sell. And I was worried. And I was like, no clue how people are gonna get this, but let's get a crazy artwork for it and drop it. And we did. And it's been my best release so far because
Best selling, yeah.
went and trusted on the music. And that's what I always tell people when I talk to them. Trust is what Mario Luciano told me, and I didn't listen until I did. It's what Eli probably has told you guys a million times, and it's what I'm gonna come again and say. Take that risk. Take that one risk. It's the worst thing that could happen is you have 1,000 views on YouTube or less, and what? Who cares? People move on with their days. 2020, there's worse things. And all that just to say, going forward and into working with Teddy was amazing. And Tarantino's Revenge came when I found this bass sound on this Beat Butcher sound kit that he has, and the bass goes boom down boom down, and I was like, let me build around a world around this one sound. I was like, this is gonna be my challenge today.
But
One weird ass bass. I'm gonna go ahead and build a world around it. And I'm about to share the screen in a minute. Let me just confirm what's what and what's not.
You guys go crazy in the chat if you're fucking with all this so far.
What?
No, I'm telling these guys go crazy in the chat for fucking with all this so far.
Shout out you guys, man. You guys are cool as fuck. Mm-hmm.
nah, but I swear that Teddy and your pack was I see on the drum broker shit best selling of the year, and it's like that one. It's like the one that really did it for you, even more than the coupe one.
It did better than the coupe one, but it didn't get more used than the coupe one. So what that represented was that people are actually probably listening to it as an album, and that's really cool. And that
Yeah, that's fine.
brings a new approach because I was literally about to start releasing them as albums, and then a whole better, different plan came along that you guys are going to learn about soon. With that being said, let me share the screen. Let me just test the sound. You could hear that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful.
Okay, I can share the sound,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool. Man, share. So boom. This is FL Studio for everybody who didn't think I was working on FL Studio. FL Studio, I think forever will be. And so the sample started in one. Um, are you guys hearing this?
Nah.
Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. This sound, it's a cool ass bass sound. I know you guys probably gonna go and sample it.
Hmm.
You gotta go. Is going to purchase Beat Butcher's kit, build volume one, music chops, bass note, and in that same. This is what the pattern was. That's how it started. No chords, because I can't. I don't know any music theory. And then um, pattern three. as simple as you think it could be. In pattern 6. And this is probably the first time I introduced chords. So I know you guys want to see the mixer. That's how it sounds. All fucked up. And
Damn.
so Omnisphere. First thing I have on Ocean's Way. Room.
Fire.
Room. You want to give the piano a room. You want it to sound like it's real. You want it to be in a room. Piano does not sound real coming out of a computer. Will never happen. You have to always give the piano a room, unless you don't want to give it a room. Then fucking kudos to you. And EQ. Hey guys, I have, before you go and judge me, I have 5 to 6 EQ on each sound. I could easily use one or two, but that doesn't matter. I like to make an edit every time I hear something, and that's very impulsive of me. So I'll be listening and I'll be like, "Oh, I hate that frequency." I'll put in a brand new EQ and just get rid of that and not touch the previous one because I feel like it will ruin everything. So first EQ is ducking all the highs and the lows. Then shaper box is basically volume going down every bar, every half a bar, and then the best compressor for dirty sounding stuff. Valve
Bro,
compressor,
yo, Fortnite tried to this. He tried not show people this, but he accidentally showed people. Well, compressors is so wavy.
super wavy. Hey guys, I'll show you everything on my stuff. Because my stuff is just so everywhere that it's like right now what I'm doing, and I'm showing you guys that I'm not that different. I just throw a lot of paint, a lot of paint, and then when I feel like it's too much paint, I clean it off. That's what I do. I'm I didn't go to sample classes for 700 months and got taught exactly how to make stuff sound cool. This is the second EQ. As you can see, it's barely doing anything with the EQ before it. I'm ducking highs that are not there. That's how my mind works. And then more of nothing. Boosted the lower mids for some reason and did the same thing again that I did on 2 and 3 again. For I don't even know if that makes any difference. I'm gonna go and play and see if it made any difference. Ooh, this one did.
Yeah,
This one didn't. This one did. So I could have stayed without using 2 EQs, but sometimes in life you got a bunch of EQs. And what is this? Um, okay, that is non-existent. And then 8. This is probably the Wurlitzer. The whirl and the vibes. So right here you have chimes, right? And then a one shot.
shout out All Hug.
Bow hugs. Hold on. I literally had received this pack the day before. So I was having fun with sounds. I hate when FL Studio hides stuff, so I gotta come and find them. Okay. So what's on here? Valve compressor again. Paramedic EQ, ducking all the highs, boosting the lower mids, and then the LFO tool doing what I've heard somebody do very recently, and I was like, that's crazy. So this is a technique that I love doing. I cut the start of a sample, I cut the start of a song sound and the end of a sound, and that's why my samples sound choppy. My samples sound as if you went ahead and did this. My samples sound like dun, 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 because I love NPCs and sampling stuff, and through very deep thinking of my own, I I really was like, I'm trying to emulate the sound of pressing and triggering sounds. And that became a really big thing about my sound. And then one day I was with Coop and I showed him how I did it. And he was like, that's cool because I used to do it with Shaper Box. He's like, you should try LFO tool. And I'm like, word. And he shows me that he does the exact same thing, but not as dramatic as I do. And he showed me how he did it on LFO tool. And I've been doing it. And I heard it again the other day on someone else's pack and I freaked out. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yo, this is literally the most pointless copy because it's like that doesn't even add to the music. It just adds to my originality. So when somebody went and did that, I was like, I'm gonna make a tweet. I'm gonna tweet for the first time about this shit. I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I used to be like, nah, man, it's cool. It doesn't matter. It's all blessed, bro. We're fucking, we're dope. And that one day it was like, but it's okay. We're all human, right? We all get stuff, and this is the horns. So vintage horns, 60s cool
Sauce.
jazz bit, um, with probably some stuff on it. It has UAD electronics. You don't necessarily need the one from UAD. There's a bunch of cool emulations for it. I'm basically boosting the volume and reducing the peaks, so it's compressing. And next thing I have is a failed plugin, which is okay. And then valve compressor, and then EQ. As you guys can see, a lot of EQ doing nothing as always on every sound. So nothing special. Two chords. This whole thing is two chords. And Teddy sent this, and this is when everything glued together. And that was one of my favorite things on the whole sample. It was how nice of a texture her vocals were. And if you can see, it's not that much going on vocally. I have a little alto boy shifting the format. You'll see it in real time. Going up and down the format. If you guys don't know how to automate specific buttons on a plugin, I'm gonna show you because I know this. You have this little button right here called the multi-link to controllers. You click it. Once you click that button, any next thing you click is gonna be affected. So see right here, say I wanna control the pitch, boom, link made. All I gotta come here is create automation clips. And now I'll have automation clips for the pitch of this plugin and nothing else. So that's on FL Studio. For non-FL Studio users, FL Studio. Um, and this is guitar chop with mad delay. Fruited delay, just a simple native delay. And then we're gonna step into my favorite section, which is textures. So textures do everything. It's what creates the world around what you're doing. So textures, and by the way, guys, I can't read the comments because I'm on this page. So Eli, if you see anything or any,
Yeah, I got you.
yeah, textures are everything. Textures are what creates the world for your sample. So obviously, this was what it started with.
That sounds like you got sound shifter going on the bass.
basically what happened. I had that bass note I played for you guys, and I had this technique that Oscar Zulu showed me. Now, Oscar, if you ever see this, I'm so sorry. I'm spilling your sauce. I can't be controlled. And I took, I think it was a ukulele, but it could have been a guitar, but the ukulele will do for the example. I played the bass notes on the ukulele. So, and what I did from there is pitched it down so that it matched the tone of the bass that I did from the one shot. And once you do that, basically
Mm.
getting is you're getting obviously a very strong bass note from the one shot, but the ukulele or the guitar or whatever you use that has strings, giving it a human touch. That's why you hear me tapping the guitar, the ukulele. That's why you hear the fret noises. People have figured this part out now. I'm just faking that I can play, and I'm compressing it so that you can hear after I add 200 textures. And that's me singing. Um, that came after Eli Brown taught me how to record in trance beat, which means record on a slowed down version of your sample and then speed it up to tempo. So it sounds like Drake's about to rap on this shit. And I also can sing, which is really cool for shit. Didn't be able to sing, and then went and learned vocal exercises and became confident. A lot of it is about being confident. It sounds so corny because I know a lot of confident bad singers, but a lot of it is about you being like, yo, let me sing my ass off till it sounds good. And that's why vocal samples until my third pack were all extremely muffled, auto tune all the way up, tormented down, reverb, all type of stuff going around it because I was trying to hide the fact that I couldn't really sing. But over time, I figured how my voice works, and that's what we all need to find out if we're gonna include vocals in our stuff. And and that was in there, and then the second bass note with a pitch shift, same note over and over. And then this section, I had this tom loop from like this splice joint. Just to give it groove. Then jazz, jazz or brushes. That's all textures. You're all just adding to the of it belongs to. And then chimes, because chimes belong in this world. Super almost non-present. Feel me? And then jazz rides. See, guys, even on the rides, I have 6 EQs. You can't stop me. I'm unstoppable.
What you got going on the vocals? It sounds a certain way. Like it has a certain feel to it.
Mine are Teddy's.
Oh, yours.
Okay, so it's panned to the right for one,
That's fine.
and 2 plugins failed. But what I know for a fact was on here first was this baby. Please load. I have people looking at me. And NS1. First thing I
Yep.
put on example because I
Yep.
recorded this on my phone, so I need to get rid of the white noise. But I love the white noise getting rid of. It's not like I like to record on a clean microphone like the one that's helping me talk to you guys right now. Really, really like recording on my phone because there's a room texture it comes with that sounds even better once you get rid of it. If it makes any sense, but basically, I'm getting bad stuff to remove it, and I like what becomes of the thing after I remove the bad stuff. And NS1 first thing is my bad stuff remover, and next thing I have going on is an EQ, ducking the highs and the lows. These are all failed, but the first one was an NS1, and the second one was probably J37 just for the saturation. And then Stark by Clevgrand. There's a preset on there called Vintage Lo-Fi. You find it on Keys Clean. Doesn't do that much, that crazy. It basically just gets rid of low end for you and adds room to you, a cabinet, which is usually for guitars and keys sometimes, and that's what I added to the vocal, and then duck some more highs. So if I actually go and play it with none of this, it shouldn't sound that different. Dramatically different. My bad. Yeah. So don't listen to what I said. Definitely everything you do matters. And then everything all together. If I did go through everything, we should be good. Oh yeah.
That's serious.
So first thing on these, valve compressor, then that vocal, that chopping technique I told you guys I do. Then AU pitch or any pitch or plug it an octave up, and then clever, which I learned about the same exact day. Great reverb. It basically ducks it the it ducks the reverb while something is playing and boosts it right after. It has a ducker on it. Apparently, that's what they call it. So that's that for this. If you have any other one you want me to go through, I'll gladly open it right now.
We'll hold up on that now. Now, as I was saying from before, we want to hear now the Reese situation and tell I because I already know what the Reese situation did for you in terms of like birthing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of great things, but also what it meant. Why Reese is a very important thing in terms of passion as well.
Hell yeah. So guys, to me is like any of you guys as friends. Any of you guys as friends that is making music. Reese to me is what Niji Gray that's in the crowd today, for what I know, is to me, is what a lot of people were to me. But Reese represents himself, a very important part of my career. And why? Not in terms of access, not in terms of financial gain or success sonically, but as of my first trust that was given to me. And let me explain to you the whole story. It's gonna be a rather fast breakdown because I need to save this for like the GQ and the fader interviews and all this cool stuff. So I'm gonna kind of not give everything, but
Ah.
I'll fuck with y'all. But basically, Reese happened after where I'm from, Cape Verde, West Africa. I don't have as much access to a lot of stuff that I have over here when I was there. So I used to go on pirated websites, not only to get all my plugins, but also to get the albums that I used to listen to stay inspired. And I remember going there to get the last J. Cole. If I'm not mistaken, it was probably For Your Eyes Only or KOTD, if I remember correctly, that was the title. And before I log out the website of the cracked website that could have gotten me, there's no way they would find me in Cape Verde. No, people don't go to jail for that. I'm exaggerating a lot. And I see this album artwork with a plane crashing. I have to show it to y'all because this was basically exactly what happened. I saw this artwork with a plane crash, and right before I leave the website, and I was like, "Yo, this artwork is crazy." And I never had heard of the artist. I never ever in my life. Hold on, let me share the screen, show you guys what I'm talking about. Um, this artwork. This is installation one by Johnny Yukon. This really cool dude. One of the coolest fucking human beings I've ever
Shout
met.
out Johnny.
Shout out Johnny.
On 2X on that lemonade joint.
Come on. And it was a track list. And if you guys never listened to this album, please do.
You're chopped.
Please do. And this album changed my life. Johnny Yukon, the guy that nobody really knew at the time and is still coming up, that I downloaded an album of randomly, became one of my favorite artists ever because he had a different approach. It's like he mixed the sonics from Travis's Camp and the simplicity and melodic quality of Drake's writing and his own true self, his own true identity that he brought to songs, and made an album with that. And I went and listened to it over and over, and it became one of my favorite projects. And I reached out to him. He had like 12,000 followers, so I felt like I could get to him. And it wasn't that easy. The dude was receiving a million emails, just like I'm receiving today. That's why I don't judge him. And that's how I know Eli does, and how a lot of us, when we get to a platform where people can expect us to help, it's a lot of messages that come. And I try to get to a lot. I try to listen to as much as I can, but it's obviously not as possible, especially if you're trying to stay busy and trying to stay productive. And there's also a certain thing to protect about being mysterious and being enigmatic. That's why my dad constantly tells me uh, to not be all the time on Instagram live showing my screen because it's not gonna create that enigmatic image about me that Michael Jackson had, that Party Next Door has, that Bryson Tiller has, that Drake has. It's what low key makes people grow into icons because people don't have that much easy of access, but they're still very relatable and whatnot. But I can't figure that out. I just love talking my ass off and telling people. But um Johnny hadn't really replied like that, but he did show love. And I told myself I'm gonna do one thing that I'll never do again. It's gonna be my first and last time. And it was like I asked him to follow me. I'm like, hey, bro, can you follow back? And I put him on the corny. I knew from the jump it was super corny. I was like, yo, dude, I've been supporting your music. You need to follow back. He was like, oh yeah, yeah. And he followed me back, and I knew it was a corny ass move. You're not supposed to do that, but it was calculated. The first thing I went and did is I went and followed every producer and writer on the album, and they followed back because Johnny follows me.
Oh, that was a finesse.
You feel me? And from there on, I went back and built with every single one of them because my biggest goal was to get something with Johnny. And at the time, I wasn't even thinking beyond that because I loved the dude's music so much. And that was how innocent and nice that moment was. And one of the producer happened to be Reese, who dropped two singles with Johnny or three after the album dropped. and I was a huge fan of Reese's approach to music, and I'm gonna show you exactly why. I'm gonna show you exactly why I DM'd this guy. I'm gonna show you. Hold on. Um, 1 second. Eli, I can share sound from YouTube. Yeah.
Yes, sir, ski.
Okay, perfect. Uh,
Oh, this joint. Yep.
and listen to this, guys. What's happening?
I gotta go, I gotta go. I wanna leave, I gotta grow. I gotta get out the city and back to the place that I know. I gotta go, I gotta grow. I gotta go, I gotta go. I wanna leave.
Not only the melodics on this is incredible, but that's about the rim shot I've ever heard in my life and sounding hard like that. The dude literally had the craziest 808 distortion with hi-hat going into the smallest rim shot. And I'm like, I don't know this guy, but he's perfected bounce. He knows what creates it. And I reached out to him just being a fan of that one moment because I knew the other beats he produced was hard. He even Reese has a million hard and harder beats than this. But that one moment, I was like, yo, I would never use this rim shot because I would overthink it for 6 hours thinking of how it does not fit this beat. I'm like, this rim shot does not do justice to this beat, but he did it and it sounds great. And I'm like, I need to work with him. So I sent him some beats, right? And he's like, the fuck are you sending me beats for? I make beats. And I was like, fucking hell. Never thought about it. So I started going like, yo, what can I do? And mind you, this story is before I started making samples. So I'm like, oh yeah, and shout out Miji Gray. This was gonna come at the end of my story about Reese, but me and Miji Gray end up catching my first song with Johnny Yukon ever, and Reese was on it too. So incredible. Miji Gray is one of the best human beings I've met on earth.
First person I met in LA.
Amazing dude, extremely kind-hearted. Can't speak well enough of him. And so I'm talking to this guy Reese, and he's hitting me with some, yo, why are you sending beats? I make beats, and I'm like, fuck, I never thought about that. I just thought I'd send you beats. So he's like, yo, but that one beat you sent, I like the chords. Can you take the drums off and send me that? And I sent it to him, and he did the craziest beat from that. And I was like, oh shit. He's like, you got more samples? I'm like, yeah. And I had no samples. I never did a sample in my life. So I went every beat I've ever bounced and muted the drums and put them on a pack on a Google Drive link and sent it to the guy. I was like, nothing happened to these. Maybe these melodies would do something. And he flipped the fuck out of them and sent it to Johnny. And he's like, yo, Johnny just recorded to this. And it was the first time in my life I had something like that. It was the first time I could be like, oh shit, all this work became something. Like I have a song with Johnny Yukon and it blew my fucking lid away. I was so excited. And I just kept doing it. I'm like, I'm not doing drums anymore for 2 years. I just kept doing stuff. I just kept pressing keys and adding vocals to stuff and adding bass lines and sending it to Reese. And eventually that became me going, you know what? I'm gonna take a few of these and put them in a pack and call it Insomnia Volume 1 and drop it. So that is a story of Insomnia. But Reese asking me to mute my drums is the reason why I'm here in my career today. All because of an album that I downloaded because the plane crashing artwork looked kind of fire. So you never know where you're gonna get into your career, how or why. As it makes almost to no sense, zero to no sense. But let me tell you how that developed into the relationships I have today. So me working with Reese and Johnny, great. Another person that was on Johnny's album, um, Josh Valle, is a guitar player. And he's the first guy that accepted to meet with me in person when I came to LA to live here. Um, and he drove me around, showed me things and whatnot. He was like, "Yo, this is how we do this. This is a studio." I was like, "Fuck, I never seen a studio." Blah, 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 all types of- And uh, Josh believed in me, so he started having me work with certain people. Blah blah blah. Blah. And eventually, he introduced me to this big producer I looked up to, and look up to this day. And
You ain't saying names. You ain't gonna say names.
no, 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 no.
All right,
And
but
me and the got really cool, and I was supposed to sign to him, but I was so scared out of
oh,
hearing so many stories about bad producer deals in your first thing, in your first deal, that I didn't know what I was. So I bought my Blue Everything You Need to Know About Music business book. I went through Google Forms. I went through the whole thing trying to figure out that what I was getting into was good, and I still needed help. So he put me in connection with this amazing woman called G. Rude.
who put you in connection with this amazing woman?
Josh. Josh met saw G Ruse again at this event and told her about me. And G Ruse goes, "Oh, I've heard of Nami because he works a lot with one of my producers, Reese." So Reese and Josh, without even talking about it, helped me meet G Ruse, which is today my manager. This is why I tell people all the time, fucking work with your friends. I'm trying to work with guys who are gonna give you 5% on a song. And I went and met with G Ruse a Friday, sat down with her, and that same Friday, I'm going through my story. She tells me her story. We get acquainted, have love for each other, and then she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna help you with this deal." And while I'm sitting with G Ruse, guys, I would actually really appreciate if by any chance you guys end up uploading this at some time or sharing it with people. Don't share to this story because this is a very special story that I only want to share with you guys. You feel me? It's gonna come out of at some point. I'm gonna probably do some other interviews, but this is a story that for now I wanted to develop into more before I give it to the world. And
Hold up. Before you finish, let everybody has to, comment and just say like, yo, they agree.
no, 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 no.
Um,
This is not
the
a verbal agreement. I'm
I'm
dead.
about to make them sign an NDA. Facts. We'll sue you $10,000.
They cool as fuck.
Yeah, that's off. Yeah, continue. My bad.
Up happening is while I'm sitting down with G Ruse on the table, Reese lands in LA that same afternoon. And he FaceTimes me to tell me he landed and he saw me at the coffee joint via FaceTime with G and he goes, "Oh fuck, you guys are with each other. That's fucking crazy. Fucking my manager and Nami and loses his lid." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what's happening." And um and me and Reese are talking on FaceTime. He's like, "Yo, that's crazy. I just landed. I'm here with my bro Javi." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." When Javi hears me, back then used to have a heavy Toronto accent for no reason. And Javi hears me and goes, yo, you're from Toronto?" And my fake Toronto having ass back then was like, "No, fam, I'm not from Toronto." Because I had all the fucking Toronto friends, all my fucking, it was my biggest influence in English, especially knowing that English is not my first language. It's like my fourth. So I was easily influenced when it came to accents. I was like, whoever fucking has the coolest accent, I'm going with you. And um, he's like, "Yo, you're from Toronto?" And I'm like, "No, fam, I'm not from." And "Oh, your accent then? Where you from?" I'm like, "I'm from Cape Verde, West Africa." He's like, "Entonces falo português, mano." And I'm like, finds out I speak Portuguese, flips his lid. He's like, yo, you gotta pull up. And I'm like, where are you guys? He's like, we're at Tommy Brown's house. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. He's like, it's cool. You can pull up. I'm gonna send you the address. So we hop off the phone, and G had a meeting to go to in 20 minutes. And she hits me and she goes, okay, Nami, I'm gonna leave now. I have a meeting in 20 minutes, but we're gonna recap next week and help you go through this deal. And I'm like, okay, perfect. And she's like, okay, this is Tommy Brown's address. You could go over there and whatnot. And I'm like, I actually can't go because the Uber's $50 and it's like an hour away. I can't afford this right now. If I do this, it's gonna be a pretty big sacrifice financially. And she's like, fuck it, I'll cancel my meeting, and drove me over there for an hour, which was the only sign I needed that she was gonna be the person for me in my career. You feel me?
Major.
And she canceled a meeting to drive this fucking kid from Cape Verde, West Africa, to sitting in the back with Reese and Javi. They're cooking up. I cook up a little bit, and I'm sitting back, right? Because it's a big ass house. I don't know where the fuck I'm at, for real, for real. Never been into that area of the city. And and Tommy Brown comes at the end of the night. He hops in the room. He's like, man, y'all need to play me all day mid. You all been doing all day. And I'm saying back like, yo, damn, that's Tommy Brown. And then he goes, who the fuck are you? The fuck out. I'm Nami. I'm friends with Javi and Reese. He's like, what are you doing in my house? So I freaked the fuck out even more because the justification of being in this man's house. So I'm like, I came with G. I met her today. He's like, you met him today, and she was like, no, listen. Wow, I know about the kid. I just brought him over here because he hasn't seen Reese in a while. He was like, what do you do then? I'm like, I make beats. I'm a producer. I sing, I write, whatever you want. He's like, play me stuff then. I went on the joint, plugged in the aux, played some joints. Next thing you know, what I'm at now. But he was like, pull up tomorrow. I pulled up the next day. Then he was like, pull up tomorrow. And I pulled up again. And then he was like, pull up tomorrow. And it was a bunch of that. And then I found myself in that 3-week window of making a good friendship with him before lockdown was announced. I was able to be there after lockdown because I had only been there since before lockdown was announced. And with that came Ariana working on her album and me getting to be a part of that because of a fucking plane crashing on an album artwork. So y'all don't ever undermine any situation or friendships you may have because no clue what it can come into. I ended up months. The deal I was about to sign not making that much sense for me. Um, and I ended up hanging around Tommy Brown for a long time before I ever got into a situation with him, and ended up signing with him very recently because I trusted in what he could do for my career, and he trusted in me as a musician. So all that, that's why Eli Eli wanted me to share the story with you guys because he knows how wild the story is,
Yeah.
normal it can be. It's clearly we're all aiming and striving to get a spot on a place where a million other people are trying to get the exact same spot. The exact same spot. Everybody wants that track number 3 on the next Drake. Everybody wants that track number whatever on the next Kalani, on the next Taylor Swift, whatever the goal might be in your career. We're all trying to prove our worth by being a part of someone else's work. That's a millions and millions of us. So don't ever undermine any situation. Just keep working. And yeah, Nami about to be on CLB.
Talk your shit. Fuck.
No idea. Man,
Yeah.
I had no clue I was on VL certified lover boy. Actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I ain't
Shit.
know. Fucking know.
You have that, but not and like hearing that kind of shows you a lot of things about this industry. As long as you focus on like your passion on what you really believe in and be a fan of music, it'll transpire into like great results. To be honest, you know what I'm saying, and actually knowing who's really a part of the records as well. You know what I'm saying, like. Had he like just shoot off Reese because Reese was not no murder beats, we wouldn't be talking to Nami right now. You,
He's a guy with a cool ass rim shot.
he has a cool ass rim shot, and he just appreciated that detailed music instead of like clout chasing, and just worked out for him in the best.
Go for music. Hey, this is so cliche because it's not even supposed to be cliche. It's supposed to be what you live by. But people never do. That's why it becomes a cliche saying. But move for the music, not for the people's status or their name or whatever might be the case. Move towards the music. It's all it's asked of you. People say this a million times and nobody ever listens. Ever,
Nobody listens.
ever. It's
It's fried.
almost like a cheat code to life.
Yeah.
Towards feeling, move towards people, towards emotion, not results. The journey matters a million times more than the destination. The Ariana stuff was fun until the comments stopped being flooded on my Instagram. But the journey it took for me to get it means way more than whatever numbers it appears on the charts. It digits and numbers, and it's almost nowhere close or anywhere near what it represents. So what it took to get the represents my my non-English vocabulary is starting to show.
Mm.
Anywho, you guys have any questions, please shoot. I'm so fucking honored to come on here and share
Yeah.
my
Quick joint before the questions. Before the question, 'cause I know everyone wants to know this. They want to see Swim.
it's easy.
All right, bet. That's the joint. And like, why you're opening it up? My question is to you. So like, let's talk about not necessarily the negative part, but let's talk about everybody that kind of like were hating. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody probably saw you as like, yo, random kid from Africa. What did you know? He's gonna make in the industry type shit. Like, let's talk about the RMR session or the and linking those guys, and also just like the pitfalls and like how hard was it to try and or the sacrifices you had to make to get where you are. Let's talk about those kind of situations.
Do it. Let's do it. Let me just open a window that could just kind of not that dark. And basically a lot of things come with this, guys. I haven't seen my family in a while. I haven't seen my friends in a while. People who love me, people I love, everybody I ever known, and everybody has ever cared about me. I have to put on pause so I can come and get this. And that gets hard, y'all. I don't want this to get into some dramatic
Hmm.
tangent because I know what it is to be hungry, and in your head you're like, it doesn't matter, bro. I'll go to fucking LA and be there for like fucking 3 years, bro. What it takes, and I fucking yeah, that's cool when you stay, and then you come over here and you realize that yo, this is a business city, so a lot of the relationships you're gonna make are gonna be business oriented, and after a little while, you're gonna fucking miss a fucking hug. You feel me? Little things like that. And a good example I'm gonna give is of sacrifices is this is again me just feeling comfortable with you guys on here, but I had to break a relationship up because it was not aligning with my vision for my career. And if one thing that I'll never ever 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 question is how much I love music and how much I've done to be able to do it and how much I value it. So when anything comes in contact with that and kind of pumps the brakes a little bit on me on that side of things, I try to get it out the way because it's my biggest priority. It's what was there for me when nothing was. You feel me? And I feel like a lot of y'all can relate.
I
And
can relate heavy. Shit.
so I had personally to break up with somebody I loved so fucking much. And it was one of the worst experiences I ever had. But I had to because it was not helping me get to where I needed to be, or I could see it being an obstacle, and I didn't want it to be something that's relevant into my fucking strive for a career. It's 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 understandable. A lot of our parents did sacrifices. A lot of our grandparents did, whether they had to do it to go work on something or whatnot. You feel me? I'm just all I'm gonna say is there are a lot of things that come with trying to reach success, and you got to be comfortable with it. And that's why I was literally talking to Eli the other day, and I was like, you got to look at exactly what you want to get to and be willing to sacrifice for that. It's very simple. You can't claim to want to be the biggest producer on earth ever and not be willing to make the sacrifices for that. Because it's all fun on Twitter, it's all fun in the conversations. And when the sacrifices come, you need to make guys we look at you, they made them. None of these guys are all glittery and gold and somehow found themselves into these seasons artist career. A lot of these guys had to do insane sacrifices. One of the producers I look up to more told me the other day that he was working on the album that changed his life the same week his grandmother died. And he was flying back and forth to go to the funeral and go to the sessions. He wasn't even getting to the hotels, but the album changed his life. And he became actually one of the biggest producers to ever be. He confined that story to me. But I understood again
Damn.
that there's sacrifices that come. I'm at the very start of my career. My first major placement happened a month and a half ago in October. I'm not that sure about how time works anymore, but I'm pretty sure 2 months or something ago. And it's been great. Amazing things that has happened before the end of this year, but I have so much more to do. And Eli knows me, Miji knows me, and for those of others of you that are in this crowd that know me, y'all know what my goals are. I don't plan to be stopped. I want to break every record. I want to I want to write, sing, rap, fucking make beats, make samples, make fucking movies, everything that's on the because that's how I am in my mind. Now, will I do it? I don't care. All I'm proud of is to have this passion that's untouched. Because it's the biggest thing you can have and value. It's this passion. I've seen incredibly talented guys completely bored out of their minds after a few years. So my biggest position, my most prized possession is this passion, and I'm gonna hold on to it for as long as I can. And while I have it, I'm gonna go all out, all out. I'm a. To this day, I'm sleeping till 5, knowing damn well I had a great year. I could have legit been like, yo, I'm good. I just caught a #1 album, got my dream placement, YB and Corday single, fucking Jack Harlow, fucking Amine, fucking this and that. I could have been like, yo, in 2 months, I could take a fucking break. Yesterday, I slept at 4. The day before, I slept at 6. The day before, I slept at 3. Why? Because it didn't stop when those dropped. And I sacrificed. That's goal. That's why I'm like, you guys, measure your what you want to get to as a result. What's your destination in mind, and be willing to sacrifice for it. If my goal was to get a Bryson Tiller fucking song, I would have been fucking playing Cyberpunk right now instead of being on this Zoom call. You feel me? Got Cyberpunk. right there in my living room. I would have been doing a million other things that's way less time consuming than making music all day during Corona, which would be understandable to not do shit else but sit down. But I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to conform. And that's why I love my friends so much, because a lot of my friends that are in this industry with me, I've had the opportunity to have conversations with them where we could go and explain to each other how it doesn't matter when someone else's win and you don't. You have to be happy for them and see that that's their path and it does not coincide with you. You guys would be surprised the amount of old heads that are low key little broing me and
Oh
trying.
man, let's talk about that a little bit more if you can.
They have no clue how this 18-year-old, now 19, has made so many things happen in a year of being in this city. A lot of guys little bro me, you guys have no clue, and I would never speak on their names because I'm
Yeah, but if you can bring up, there's one particular one. You know what I'm saying, with those guys, talk about the RMR session, that talk about like even before you went to that session and they saw you or whoever. Like break down how they're trying to little bro you basically.
but basically what I'm gonna get to is like somebody offered to put me on their team, and this is where the naive side of me came. You know, and it was like, hey man, if you're coming with us, you got to be willing to do this, this, and that, and sacrifice this, this, and that. Because as you can see, we're getting Drake joints, we're getting these joints, we're getting Travis joints, we're getting these joints, and blah blah blah. And I was like, yo, fuck it, if that's what it takes. Because I was hungry and it's natural. I was like, yo, whatever. Yeah, bro. I can't work with anybody else who I'm off your deal. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm down. What? I gotta be there till fucking and work my ass off. Fuck it. I'm down. Because you really want it. You really want it. But I always go with my gut. I've never went against my gut. My gut is fucking best thing I have. My gut would be like, nah, bro. And I was like, nah, bro. And when past. And at first I felt like I was missing out on a huge opportunity. At first I was like, yo, this might be skipping on a life-changing opportunity. And then I saw these guys again months after at Record Plant on a artist session on the hallway. We was walking and they were like, yo, Nami? I'm like, yeah, what's up? It's like, what are you doing in here? I'm like, I was invited as a producer. I'm a producer in here. And he was like, oh, word? I'm like, yeah, my stuff is fire. And from there on, they never threw shade again. So it was more on yo, you trying to cook up, bro? Not on some like, bro, if you work with us, you're gonna have to fucking do a blood sacrifice. So believe in yourself, go and get it yourself, and watch a lot of these people's attitudes change. And a little comment I wanted to make on what Eli said when he first asked me this question on what it represents to be, what it means to be somebody that people don't really know. Bro, we all started with no followers. You feel me? We all nobody giving a single fuck. You feel me? We all started by posting beats on our page and having 3 people comment on it. It was the same 3 people from last post, but you're grateful because at least it's 3 people. It's like we all come from that. If you don't, then you're blessed. You feel me? And it's about giving. How do I put this? It's about prioritizing and giving all the value you can to everything you have. People, bro, I post every 3 months, and the interaction on my page is incredible. I went when Eli first added me to this group back in February. I had 2,000 followers. We're approaching the end of the year, and I'm approaching 7,000 followers, which
Illuminati.
20K and 200K, that might mean nothing. I see them as all individual human beings. I have 7,000 individual people, bro. Actual people that fucking have different lives going like, this kid is kind of cool, I'ma follow him. So that's also because I prized and valued every single one of them as they came in or tried my. I would hop on Zoom calls, FaceTime calls to teach them how to route their guitar pedals, all these little tools I have around. I was on my Instagram DMs asking the long questions long as earth, because obviously producers are not gonna be like, hey bro, I really like your stuff. Just wanted to say congrats. Nah, they're gonna be like, yo, bro, how do you link Serum to go through the Prophet X and so you can control the volume knob so it can swift the LFO tool to do the X and Y. So I'm in my DMs all day going, yeah, bro, I did this and did that. I try my best, and obviously time became more scarce, but we all start with nothing, zero, and it grows into something. And now I'm so proud to say that whatever number I might have of people that like my stuff, they're all genuine. They all genuine. Every single one of those people are people. And I try to have conversations with them. I hop on live and add them to it, answer their questions because they all matter. That's why we go right back into the Reese theory. You feel me? I valued Reese so much because Reese was not vinyls. Reese was not Boy Wonder. Reese was not Murder Beats. Reese was not Tommy Brown. Reese was a dude with a cool ass rim shot. And I valued that a lot. The fact that he gave me his time to tell me how he did his thing or to even work on my stuff. And I went and developed my relationship with Reese. And my relationship with Reese flourished into many other things. You feel me? The reason why I love Miji and met Miji is because I DM'd the guy called Sebastian Reynoso after I found a song of his on Instagram. And I was like, you're hard. I want to work. And he was like, I'm in LA, pull up. And I saw Miji. I flipped my lid because the dude was like, everybody kind of knows of him and Bounce Consulting right now. His beats are all hard. And I remember meeting him and going, oh, fuck, that's Miji. I need to try and impress him. And then this other guy, Sir, came, that signed to Wonder Girl came. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, I need to impress these guys. And nobody knew of me or low-key really cared. And then Miji would guy to sit down and go like, bro, send that loop, bro. It's crazy. And he flipped it on the spot. And it was my first live cook up. And I was like, oh, damn, this fucking. So the other day I had classes all day because I'm still in school, by the way, guys. I had classes all day and I was driving up to that session again. And I didn't have something to impress Miji with. So I did the sample on the car, on the Uber over there, and gave it to him as soon as I got there. And it became one of our favorite beats. Okay, this is cool. And with that dynamic and with that friendship, me and Miji went and got a placement with Johnny Yukon, the guy whose artwork inspired this whole thing to happen. A
You
guy
know
that
what's crazy? You know what's crazy about that? I didn't mean to cut you off. You know what's crazy? It's still playing and it's taking off. All right, it's a spaceship taking off.
still,
Artwork.
still. What do you ask? Is
What?
that a question?
No, I'm telling you that the artwork was still a plane. Like it was the same place on crashing, it was flying.
Taking off, yeah, to the moon.
Yo.
Exactly. So Miji, this guy that I randomly, hold on, man, within the next same days, one of the hardest beats I made with Nami was a sample he made in the car. That's my guy. And you guys see that picture right there on Miji of me and him sitting down, the one he put on his. That was the day I did the sample, and he did the drums. The what became my first place. That picture is actually legendary, bro. We need to save that. And it was a beautiful moment, and it was so cool to see that I got to win, but not only how cool it was to win, but how cool it was to win with friends. Sucks to win by yourself, bro. It's cool on
Yeah.
it. That's about it. Oh, you get to tag one guy on the post. Fucking hell. Oh, so fucking cool. It's literally nobody really cares. It's so cool to win with your friends. You guys have no clue because you get to see how their lives gradually change because of that. And if they value it, you'll see it. If they don't do it again. I have people that I have helped helped that just because I couldn't find the time again to work with them, have felt all kinds of ways. And I'm like, you're literally discarding the fact that I helped you because you're not getting what you want right now. So you are not deserving of my time because our times is the most valuable things we have, guys. And yeah, I think that answers the question. Eli.
Yeah, facts. Shoot, got some loaded up.
Let me pull up swim.
That's fire. There's so much gems there, like actionable things for people just to take and apply to their own careers and whatnot. So I appreciate you even for doing this. You know what I'm saying?
One thing I'm gonna always do is explain to people how simple and and non-ordinary my story is.
Yeah. To be
Because
honest, everybody. Hmm?
no, go ahead.
I said to be honest, everybody I talk to, whether it be even like Kid Culture or whatever, Bongo, all these like more established guys, it's just it kind of this similar thing where it's like it's not as straightforward as you think,
It's not-
and it came from you just fucking with like people that you fuck with, and after they just take you to like there, you know what I'm saying? Like they take you somewhere else.
it's all it is. It's all it is. And one very strong comment, and I want you guys to live by this. This is what you want to do for your life. The people you work with are your lifelong friends.
Yeah.
Don't ever trick your mind into thinking that music is still a hobby because that's what the world kind of makes you think. Tries to put it in a box because it's not your typical career option. But I know I was like this until very recently. I know so many people that feel like they're running through people and through moments of their life to get to somewhere, and they don't realize that destination does not exist. The people you meet are your lifelong friends. These are people that you're gonna invite to your wedding. So many of us overlook it. Like, if imagine I went through my career and was like, okay, thank you, Reese, for connecting me with Johnny. Let's make a song with Johnny. Thank you, Johnny, for having a song with me. Now I'm gonna use this song and I'm gonna go and tell this guy so I could go and work with him. Now that means I just skipped on four, five, six people and everybody that's behind them because I'm trying to get into this imaginary destination that completely does not exist. I'm telling you now, especially if you're young, stepping into the industry as I am, don't ever forget that these people are your lifelong relationship and friends. These are the people you have. You're not in the office most of the time. If you're dedicated fully to making music, you're not in that many spaces that allows you to meet more people. A lot of my friends came from Instagram DMs. You feel me? I'm not I'm not working at Boom or whatever might be the case. I get to walk around and meet this guy, walk around and meet that person. You feel me? It's really about valuing everybody you meet along the way because other career options they get to meet people and separate them from their workspace and their non-workspace or whatever might be the case. But remember, value the people you meet. You feel me? Because it's very important. These are the people who are gonna be around because the next thing you know, you might be in your 30s or even later in life, and you'll look back and realize, yo, I might be successful, but I don't fuck with these people around me because you try to get to a number, you try to get to a
Hmm.
title, right? I know people like this. I really do. We all kind of look up to a few people that are like this. You feel me? Or that are gonna become that for what you can see because it's a whole lot of yo, I I can't it's as simple as I said, guys. It's
Oh, that.
people who are going along with you because you'll get there if you really work hard, but getting there by yourself is just corny. You feel me? It's just
Yeah.
because now you realize that everybody that fucks with you from that point or that starts with that name attached. A lot of the people who fuck with me and that like me, like Eli, like Miji, like Coop, Coop, bro. Coop fucked with me for no reason, just because he thought I was a cool dude. Ended up helping me a million times. Told me everything I needed to learn about music business. He told me how to get my ASCAP set up. He taught me how to get my sound exchange set up. By the way, if you haven't, do it today. All of y'all keep fucking postponing it. Do it today. Make your sound exchange account. Stop waiting. I did mine last week and I had fucking mad releases out. Stop postponing it. Make your sound account. Coop taught me what it means to give pub away and what managers take and what it costs to get an attorney, all that. All because he thought I was a cool dude. I could have easily went like, thanks for the info, Coop. But nah, you feel me? That's not how it works. Because now I get to help Coop back. I get to be like, yo, Coop, I'm working on this album right now. I need some sounds and you the guy for it. I get to be like, yo, Coop, I know you're working with this person. Can I send some shit? Because we have a relationship. You feel me? That's why you value them. It's career and it's life things and it's a million things and blah blah blah, blah, blah. And I'm gonna go into swim
So bad.
and cool thing about swim is I kid you not.
Guess who's in here? Kofo's in here.
Yes, sir. Okay.
What's
So the
up?
thing with swim is I was literally it was one of those random moments in my life where I go like I'm gonna be healthy. I'm gonna fucking sleep at fucking 10 today. Fucking drink fucking tea when I wake up. And I woke up at like 8. And I woke up at 8 and I was like, okay, I don't know what happens at 8 a.m. I never did this before. So I was just walking around the house and like this melody came into my mind and I started humming and I posted it on my Instagram story. I just had a bunch of hums. I hummed a bunch of times and it had no chords, had no melodies, and this is what it was. Oh, nope, it wasn't this. Uh, it actually was. It was this, but minus the bass. The bass came after. So if you ignore the bass, this is what Swim started as. This is what it was. You can hear me snapping. You can hear the white noise behind me. And then I sent it to Kofo, the incredible guitar player that the whole world is after right now. And Kofo sent me some guitars. So with my vocals, where's my vocals? Where are my vocals? Hold on. Can't find my vocals. Y'all, my sessions be so big and make no sense.
Nigga, that's 50 tracks.
Yeah. That's every sample of mine though. That's why my stuff can be simple, but it's a lot of leveling. Like if like end of summer, it's 30 sounds too. You feel me? It's literally just chords and vocals, but the details is what makes my music. The little sound that appears with a 10% volume on it that you barely notice. If I take it out, I'll freak out. It's like, no, it feels empty. So um oh, here it is. Right here. I need to replace the file because I I don't know where I put it. I have no clue where I put that vocal file. It's one of the most important things to the sample. So I feel stupid right now. Hold on. Where did I put this thing? Hold on. I think I'm gonna have to finesse this. This should do it. Uh, Now I gotta match the key. It's not.
Sounds like it's probably try 200 now.
I'm dead.
Nah, it's not one of those. Not one of those. Just continue on.
No. Don't worry. I'm gonna figure it out.
Bet.
Probably 400. And then vocals Nami.
Wow, your mixer chain is doing the most. Not in the chain,
Look at my stuff all day. My stuff makes zero sense.
bro.
To you guys how I go about making samples. I have an idea, and then a lot of things start happening around that idea. Like I have an idea for lead, the bass, and everything just keeps coming, streaming into my fucking mind. So if I don't get it out, I won't be able to do it. If I wait 30 minutes, I'll probably lose that lead idea. So I just do things on a very fast pace and then focus on making everything sound cool. So what happens is this is what you're seeing. It's a bunch of weird stuff with mad stuff going on. That's why I have 5 to 6 EQs per sound for no reason because I need to get that EQ doing that right now, and then I need this to happen right now. Fuck all the cute looking stuff. So
Nah, facts. But yo, wait. Disclaimer though. Me and Evan Best were having a conversation about this. And before he took the class or before he did the class, he was like, "Yo, sometimes I hear Nami and Coop stuff. I'm like, yo, am I not doing too much?" But I'm like, nah, like it's okay. You can not do too much to your samples if that's not what you do. But if you want to go all the way that way, just go all the way that way. It doesn't matter.
just do your thing.
Just
Just
do
do
your
your
thing.
thing.
Do
No
you.
one. Cut the lows. Sounds like I cut the lows. Apparently, I don't know what the fuck happened in there. That's for the vocals, and then bass line. I'm gonna show you the sounds I used because that's what people forget to do, and then you don't get to know what they used. So, um, apparently this is muted, so doesn't matter. Apparently this is muted too.
Everybody's asking how long it took you to make this sample.
I'm gonna show you the project. I use the Rickenbacker bass for the bass sound on this.
Sauce.
And where do you go again?
Options and after file project info. Go to options and project info.
It took me minutes. I have 176 plugins, 57 channels, 30 tracks, 42 tracks, and 204 notes being played. So that should tell you.
Yeah.
That's just what happens in my brain. The bass note. This is so cool. I don't even know how I did this.
It's a reverse vocal.
It's not.
It's not? I swear it was.
No clue what it is, bro. That's why I tell you I just keep going. I don't stop when I'm making stuff. And then chops, a whole lot of chops. That's why my stuff sounds choppy. Yeah. This is that's Teddy's voice, by the way.
Okay, yeah, that one was
And and then Teddy's voice again. Stack it, higher octave, reverb. Apparently no reverb going on. I probably need to activate it. And then the textures, just a texture I made. Makes no sense. I don't know what it is. I used a bell and I used a wow sound. It's the same one we used on Fell in Love with Spain with Truth. This is a kick and a snare.
So on the Teddy vocals, that sounds like this LFO tool. Why does it sound choppy?
Hold on. That's the kick and the snare doing this thing. And then same thing I showed you guys a million times.
Yeah. And Kickstarter. Or
Volume.
just run through real quick if you can.
I'm taking the volume off from the start and the end a little bit. So every time it comes around, it snaps.
Mm.
Just dead quiet for a few milliseconds. And then the Toronto bass. Got the spring child going crazy. And then love compressor. And then probably cut the highs a little bit. And then people talking from YouTube. And then white noise for glitch effects and whatnot. Glitch again. And then all you see around, bro, everything you guys are seeing right now is just mad stuff that I glued together. And this is what Kevin sent me. So I just chopped it around a lot. And with the guitars, I have one of them panned all the way to the left. The other one pans.
You're gonna have to pause that, then speak. Yeah, speak now.
My bad. So the guitars, I have one of them panned all the way to the left, the other one panned slightly to the right, and the other one panned all the way to the left again. What I have going on is EQs. This one has some reverb on it, and this one probably had NS1, but I switched computers, so all my wave stuff is dead. I have a new way to getting waves plugin on stuff, so the old way is dead.
Bet.
This is just Kevin's plugins. But every time you see Wave Shell, it's NS1 from Waves. Nothing else. I barely use Waves for other stuff. And Teddy's vocals, I went through that. This is the bass, kick, snare, um, and then this is a vocal chop, and then I'm gonna show you guys how I did that because you probably wonder. I would have wondered. So to make this sound, I used either Kinetic Toys or Lo-Fi Glow, and it has a preset called Anointed. So without processing, it sounds like this. With it, it sounds like this. The start and the end, and EQing a little bit of the lows Eyes up. See how it chops? And having that on every channel helps the whole sample feel like it's chopping, it's being pressed on. And what is this? Damn, I'm gonna save that channel preset. Hold on. This is Aquarius by Lo-Fi Glow. Let me see without the. I don't know why I did that, but I love it. And then this is pads. Now the sine waves sound like this, and the reason why, and I'm gonna share this, cause fuck it, I have no consideration for secrecy. Um, I have this preset that I do. Now this doesn't matter what I use. So I'm gonna go and use this, but I'm also show you guys something with a plugin you probably all have, right? And it's basically what helped define the sound for Pack with Teddy. So say I have a simple pluck like this one, or a sine wave like this one. You feel me? They're not too far from each other, as you can hear. But I'm basically aiming for a sine wave. So, right? So this sound, for stuff that sound like this, I developed my own group of pads that will help it have the pads that are all over me and Teddy's pack. I'm gonna show you what it is. I go on keys and then is it on here? Mallets turned into watery pad. That's the one I used because I did it one time. I flipped my lid. I'm like, I just turned the mallet into some watery pad. So I saved it. And basically what it is H910 harmonizer, pitching it down, right? About 200 cents. And then Volv compressor, compressing it up. I'm actually reduced the compression because I know how crazy it goes. I have lossy on default, going crazy. I'm gonna reduce the amount. I have Volv compressor again, bringing it up, and then I'm pitching it back to the original pitch. So I'm going down, compression, distortion, compression, back to original pitch. And that same sound you guys heard, this one, turns into this. You feel me? And
That's fire.
this pack. It's not complicated. Basically, I compressed the sound, distorted it, pitched it up first, pitched it back up again, and you get. And that's kind of how I got the end of summer sound. And the original sound was right. Same thing with this, right? Well, with that preset, it sounds like this. That's like perfect for
That's fire. How about the plucks? What's a pluck saying?
what?
One guy was asking about the plucks. He's asking about why the plucks sound like that. Is it the same idea?
What sounds on this
Yeah.
right here?
So
So it was this.
I think he was asking for like the processing on the heart. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm bringing up right now.
Okay, okay.
Uh, um, oh, so this is fucked. I have to bring it back. Um, okay, and then so I made this with this sound. and I ran it through one of my guitar pedals, the arcade, just for the same thing I would have probably gotten from RC20, but I wanted to use my pedals because I felt like I spent too much money on it. So pitched it down and did this. Which, to be fair, it a more melotronish feel. So definitely invest in pedals, guys. And both of them together. Now, what do I have on my ARP? NS1, um, booster highs again for no reason, and then compressing, and then this other one I cut the lows, booster highs, compressed. And that's the harps. Right? And that just me drawing it in because I can't play piano. So I just drew it in. And that's kind of what's a big part of my sound is the fact that I draw things in. That's why things feel real by processing, but feel different sonically because I can't play. So I trick you into thinking I can't play. The same way with guitars on my stuff, the same way with everything that requires playing on my stuff. And the whole thing together. How was that?
Yo, quick question, homie. There's nothing on the master, right? These guys think there's something on the master going crazy.
Probably is. So LFO2 and 6 EQs for no reason. LFO2 is doing the choppy thing. That's very present in my sound. You use it as your at your own discretion. Boosted the highs. I probably boosted the highs again, guys. I probably watch.
Mm.
No,
Technically, you brought the whole thing up. It's on the plus 6.
6 dBs up,
6 dBs us.
and then boosted the same highs that I boosted here. I boosted them again, but this is not active. And then I brought it up and put a limiter on it.
That's it.
Nothing crazy. It's just EQing and 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 bringing things up because I mix at a low volume. I mix everything at low volume, and it has to make sense without it being loud because things always sound amazing when they're loud. And then I bring
Mm.
them together, and if they're still cohesive, that
Damn,
was
that's great.
um. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say a few advice. So, yo, everybody that's on FL Studio, can you comment real quick so I can see if it's worth to give these tips or not? I know it's not a lot of us. The
I
game,
feel game.
the
You
game
see
has.
You see the shits?
Oh, the gang is on.
Gangs on. Yes, sir.
Okay, my bad. I was completely inaccurate. I see it's a lot of us. Okay, so a good advice I would give would be, let me share my screen again. FL Studio, have your template up. First thing that I found out last week, you could change your data folder on file. You can come right here or on project right here. It's this one. You could change where everything from your session goes into. So your computer, if you make samples, you know you're bouncing things in place. You have a million WAV files. Computer's gonna run out of space. I got an external drive, but everything that I record or do on FL Studio typically goes to the image line documents folder on every computer. I didn't know I could change it. So you can actually change it into a new folder that you can put in your external drive so that everything you do in terms of files in FL Studio is saved somewhere else. But the way to do it is actually tricky. So if you change it right now, if I go to another folder and save it over there, it will not save over there automatically. It will only save there for just this session. So what you have to do is do this, set this as the folder. Once you have set this as the folder, you have to save this as your new template. So for example, I'm here. I want to save it as um, template Nami. And I save it, I'm gonna have to make that my default template on FL Studio. And how you do that is you come here, project, general, default template, Nami, right here. And then I have my recording template, I have my samples template, I have my beats template. You have to go and choose. And this folder is in that documents folder of image line that we all know. So that's a good thing. So for my what I'm gonna say is organization helps with efficiency. I pushed it for years, and when I did it, I saw how big of a difference it did. When I want to open a new session and I'm making a beat, I click on my beats template. I have everything on my mixer already set up: bass, sub, 808, kick, hi-hats, one and two, open hat, perks, snare, rims, textures, effects. Sample one, I'm gonna probably pitch on the hook, so it's gonna be sample two, probably pitch it down for the verse, sample three. And then I have only thing on here is a piano, so I can find the key of the sample. And that's all. I have it every time I open a beats template. That's how I start my stuff. Very cool. I have EQs on every channel already ready to go, so you don't need to worry about it every time you start a beat. Then for my samples template, I have the sounds that I like to start from the most. I usually change them, but they're incredible for starting ideas. And it's gonna take a little minute to load because it's Omnisphere and it's Contact and it's stuff. But one second, my internet connection is unstable. Hold on. Okay, so boom. First thing on here, simple shitty piano. Doesn't even have keys. You can't even see it. It's just a VST piano. And then on Honest here, I have a lead. Um, Omnisphere is acting doo doo right now, but oh, my bad. So right, it's a lead. Then I have piano. So right. Then I have a bass.
What piano is that? I had a nice tone to it. Couldn't see it too well.
I'm not gonna show that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Everybody been on wing upright. So that's the only thing I'm lives I'm showing y'all.
All
All
right, bet.
cool kit, composer kit, because I do compositions too, so I know about these things off of just being a fan. I haven't done any movies, but I will, and this is how I've been practicing. Is just by getting these amazing libraries of sounds that are typically for movies, and I use them on my sounds, on my. But for example, a really good one too by Olafur, which is an incredible composer, is this Felt Grand piano. The other one was by him too, but this one has a mix of all the mics in the room together at one patch. It's a little more time to load, but it's great. One second. Because for some reason, they need to fix this, by the way. You can't do anything while a contact library is loading. Ah, damn. Was that a good idea?
Hmm. Your Mac.
What laptop running off of? Yo, what the heck is running pretty fast?
Huh?
What laptop running off of?
Um, MacBook 13 inch. Nowhere near the biggest specs. It was whatever I could afford at the time. And then, this. good for compositions. Can reduce the space. Has a pretty low end, not much high end tone. And then one of my favorite keys from Analog Lab, uh, Loophole One, Alien Ship LFO. Perfect for chords. I usually put the release down. Perfect to write stuff on top of. And then the bloopy stuff. Cool thing about this that you guys probably know from a lot of sample makers. Cut the highs a little bit. I'm gonna bring up waves. I'm gonna bring up J37, and
Yes,
then
sir.
uh, delay aquarium. Then right, that's how you cut that sound. If you want it to be a bit more present, you can add a echo um, spring delay. So right, all that. So yeah, that should do it for that type of sound. Arcade, I just got it recently. It's really cool for just random chops of stuff that you might want to put in. I still don't know how to use it exactly, but it's really good.
Yo, you need to hit him up and make a what you call it, a vocal and Nami vocals. You know what I'm saying?
Already, I'm just waiting on companies to hit me for real because I'm not releasing it through Splash.
I feel that.
And yeah, that's good for like starting samples. And then the other thing I've been doing that you guys saw previously is I'll have my presets. So if I come on file, I'll be like keys, the Wing of Pride on the piano that I use on Tarantino Revenge. Feel me? Boom. It'll bring up all these 6 EQs, a compressor, a room for the piano, and now that same shitty piano y'all heard. Damn, that was a catfish. That same shitty piano y'all heard might sound usable now. So hold on. Feel me? Feel me? Just giving it that vintage texture. It used to be like this. FL keys. And then it's usable a little bit. I wouldn't use it though. That's cool. For example, for your bass sounds, what can I use? What can I show you guys? This I have my preset that I like using for when I'm using it as a texture and not a low end thing. And amplitude going first, cool vibes, and then I have where is it? Yeah, and then I have just boosting the highs, cutting the lows, and then I have shape box panning it left and right, and then I have an EQ cutting the same lows I already cut before. And that's that. That's super that. Yeah, there's not many secrets to a lot of my stuff. Just a lot of throwing paint for real, as you guys may have noticed, and I'm gonna
Fire.
do it over and over and over again.
Jeez.
So,
Again, God thank Nami. You know what I'm saying? Guys go crazy in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Hmm?
click gang.
I said that you're not using the Kyle Beach strip plugin.
Um,
Miss it.
Oh, that.
yeah, the reason why Eli Brown was on my FL Studio is because Eli Brown's account is what I use on FL Studio because I couldn't afford FL Studio.
Jeez. Guy hit me out of nowhere on some, yo, you got FL? I was like, I got you.
Why? Because I had a session and my FL Studio literally crashed into demo. and I had no money to buy it. Couldn't find the crack for the version I had, so I freaked the fuck out. And that's what friends are for. Gave me his account.
I'm saying came through quick. But yeah, nah, thank you. Of course, now I'm
Buy FL Studio officially? No, because I have Eli.
they don't really care about the license thing, so but what you call it? This is like this is, hmm?
No, I said to go crazy in the comments, but then I realized there's like 80 people in here. So
Yeah. So yo, about to be question time. I remember the order roughly. Kian,
Yo,
uh
yo,
yes sir, go ahead.
how y'all doing, man? Sorry if you hear some noise on my work right now, so apologize for that.
Shit.
Yeah, I just can't get clipped by the manager, so fuck it. Nami, first of all, man, thanks for being so transparent, bro. That shit was mad key, all the effects and all that shit. Like, yo, that's crazy. Like,
I'm honored.
you got mad sauce to share, bro. That's crazy. Okay, so like my first, like, I'm gonna keep it short because I know a lot of people are here. My question is, at some point in your in your like you were talking about like having a vision, like I don't know, like for me, since I'm starting out, like for me, how it works is like most of the day I just make beats and call it a day. Like I don't have any sort of direction. So like if you're just starting out making samples, making beats, trying to get into the industry, like work, collab, all that stuff, what like how would you kind of, what's your best tip? Like what's the direction I should like go for or something? Because I'm mad directionless right now. Like I don't know like what's the first move and stuff like that.
We all been there. Um, I have two sides of that answer. The first side of that answer is studying. What do you want to do? What type of music do you do? Who's in that section? Who's in that category? Who runs that category? And who do you have access to? So
Okay.
for me, it was genius.com. I would go to the people whose music I like, go through every credit. I could tell you who was the mixing engineer on all my favorite albums because I've read them so many times. I know every producer, writer, mixing engineer. Those are things you need to know, especially if they're relevant. And reach out, work around them. If you can't get to them, work with people who work with them. Because next thing you know, you might end up doing extremely good things with that person and not even get to the person you were trying to get to. You
Right.
feel me? A good example I was gonna give you, I can give you is I couldn't wait for the day I could work with Frank Dukes, and I was chasing,
Jeez.
and I ended up meeting so many people on the way that I
Right.
still haven't met them, and I don't care for real. I'm
Mhm.
satisfied with the incredible talent that I have around me and that I work with. But my vision was him, so I try to work with people who knew him and found out they were as talented and sometimes, if not more. Just it depends on what your opinion is. So look at credits. Look at credits, work, find their Instagram, find their Twitter. Don't be the guy though that like will kind of like give you like the super sorry DM like, yo, I don't know how to explain it. I've received and I've sent a lot of those. Nobody's gonna fall for that. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, he actually might be the kid that I will help into turning to. Like what you need to do is approach people with a professional but friendly way. I have a template that I had written that I kept copy and pasting to every guy I wanted to work with and got a
Oh
lot.
shit.
But they're basically going, hey man, really love your stuff. Don't lie if you don't. Don't lie if you don't.
Yeah, fuck that.
And I really love your stuff. I look up to your work. I make music too, and would be honored if I could show you some of my work if you're open to it. It'd be super like, yo, if you're down, I have some stuff I'd love for you to hear. He could hit you like, nah, man, I'm not really listening to stuff right now. Okay, cool. Keep it pushing. Next person. You feel me? Because it's nobody's ever your nobody's ever a gatekeeper. It doesn't exist. And the second side of that answer, it's this.
Yes, sir.
1 second. I gotta find it. I thought thought it would be right. It's right here. So this and this, my most prized possession. Now, this would get fucking spiritual, and that would take 4 more hours of this cost. But law of attraction was for me what did it. What might be for y'all might be different. The books I read and the things I learned and how to utilize them was everything to me, to my career. Miji got his book up. I have my book right here. To this day, I write on this shit. Now I'm gonna show y'all actual living proof of my history. I want to work with 2019. When I wrote these, I had no clue how to work with these guys. Zero.
Same.
How to get. I had no clue. I just didn't. List: Frank Dukes, Mario Luciano, Timbaland, Super Ness, Ayo the producer, Rascal, Foreign Tech, Murder Beast, Louis Bell, Seven Thomas, Alan Ritter, Tommy Brown, Noah 40, Boy Wonder, Vinyl, C Minor, Poske, Reese, Wonder Girl, Ozzy, Q Beats, Mike Dean, K Tronada, Cardo, Monty Booker, Cam Mobile, Jakob, Cardiac, Kenny Beats, Nisha Charles, 1-2, Tame Impala, Elite, and the Rascals. Now I'm gonna turn this book and I want y'all to see from the moment I wrote it, not knowing any idea how to work with these guys, how many verified checks you see. Almost
Damn.
these songs have not came out.
Bro.
A few of them have, but I've worked and met with these people. I sat down with them and came back home and crossed them out the list and flipped my lid and was like, what the fuck? But I just met with this guy. Cool. Next. I still write down these things. I still write them down. I have pages on pages of things I wanted to get to. People who have come to my house have seen how wild my whiteboard looks like. I had goals that were insane. I went from having 0 placements to being like, okay, I want 10 placements in 2020. You feel me? 10 major placements at least. Not far off, for real. I had 0 though when I wrote those down. I had names on there that I crossed out. My manager was in my whiteboard in late 2018. I was like, get managed by G Ruse. I showed her the video the other day. I'm like, yo, a year before I ever met you, I wanted you to be my manager. And she was like, that's actually wild, Nami. I'm like, it is, but it wasn't for me because I actively worked towards that. I actively wanted that to be my reality. My whiteboard consistently has wild things written on it. That's why I don't turn it around, because to a lot of people, a lot of the stuff I write might end up sounding as cocky, knowing how young I am in my career. But I've always been an overachiever since I gained confidence in myself. And once you get it that one time, done. You get addicted. Once you break that impossibility one time, it's done. Me being a kid from Cape Verde, West Africa, with nowhere near as many resources as I need to get where I need to be in my career, and somehow ended up on the #1 album in the world when Ariana dropped, I was like, yeah,
No, that's
fuck
wild.
it. I was like, oh, I like this. I like how this feels. I'm gonna do it again. So I keep writing insane things down and being like, that might not be as insane in 4 months. That might actually be a possibility in 4 months. In 6 months, that might be a session I have in 2 weeks. You feel me? And just keep believing in the reality instead of the impossibility.
Yeah.
And break walls, because it's all it is. I know that the answer was a bit long.
No, it's perfect. Perfect.
Thank you.
You're the man. I mean, look, manifestation, all that. I do that all day. It's just like the time when it comes, But thanks for
You ain't believing it enough. Gotta believe harder.
Yo, that's facts. That's facts.
Gotta believe it harder. Most people I talk to, they don't believe enough.
That's true. So I wanted to tell you again, thank you so much. I have to go back to work before I get my ass fired. I wanted to ask Ellie, are you gonna film the rest of the Q&A? Because I love to see what everyone asks and stuff.
Hell yeah, of course.
Hell yeah, you're the man.
Yeah, come on,
Shout out to everyone here, man. Respect
right,
everybody.
Let it go.
About Kian. And a big part of it is having a destination, having a clear goal.
Yes, sir, Ski. Next up, we got Sicky Beats.
Even if your goal is 5 Billboard top 10 this year, it's 2021, and you're like, damn, bro, even Boy Wonder doesn't get that many. Do it. Write it down. Write it down. Surprise yourself. Catch one and be like, I'm closer than when I wrote it down. And you're gonna get addicted to that. And you're gonna fucking love it. Because it was all you and your fucking marker. So do it. Trust me. Just have a destination in mind and go for it. Next question, please.
Hey Nami, this is Seki. How you doing?
Thank you for always supporting, by the way. I see you very often.
Appreciate you, man. Hey, listen, man, I'm a huge fan of your work. And till today, I have only heard your music, and kind of getting the chance to hear you speak kind of elevated my respect for you that I have. Like, I feel like you're just like a super humble, down to earth, almost, yeah, not even almost, role model level person. Like, and and you're so young at the same time. And my question, I guess, isn't even a technical one. It's more that how you manage, after all the success that you've accumulated over the years, how you manage to stay so grounded, and still be who you are today. And two, um, I would love to know what the daily routine of Nami is, like, how you stay on that
Yeah.
high all the time. I mean, at least from my perspective, it looks like that.
Well, first of all, I'm honored. Those words were very kind. And second of all, grounded, my mom, she'll do it. She'll ground me anytime. My mom will remind me that this is not. My mom is really cool. She doesn't really get a lot of what happens. Um, Cool example is, told my mom the album went #1. She was like, "Yeah, but what about your grades?" So
Mm,
is a tricky one. For me, she does not necessarily get exactly what it means, but she's very supportive. She keeps me very grounded, and I'm using that to explain to you how important it is to have those people in your life. Not just my mom. My mom is an example, but make sure that everybody that you bring into your life, everybody that comes in, has those values and morals. Everybody that comes in, people, I've heard, mind you, I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm a pretty reasonable guy. So when somebody has hate or starts feeling a way towards me, I really question my actions and what I may have done to cause that, because most of the time I'm in my bedroom making sounds on my voice memo. So I very much move in a way that to some people might be weird, but to me it's how it helped me to get where I'm at. It's I move towards positivity, towards good relationships, and towards everybody that shares the same type of energy I'm on. I've had people that I really care about that I have cut off for moments because their negativity was not adding to my plate. I couldn't have it. It's your typical Twitter positive energy tweet, but it's actually real life. It's keep the people that you think are adding to you and to your music and to your essence around, and those who don't, take them away and explain it to them. Be like, yo, the way you're talking about the industry and saying the industry is negative and telling me that people are not good and they're giving bad deals is not adding to my plate, because you're speaking that into your existence and I don't need that to be anywhere near mine. You feel me? I need my stuff to be positive, and gladly enough, I've never had a really bad encounter business wise, because I've always looked forward into having good businesses and keeping the people around me that keep me grounded and help me understand that we're all humans at the end of the like around me. And anybody that does not go with that, I take out, even if it's for just a moment, just so I can reestablish myself where I need to be mentally and emotionally. Now, A day for me, first of all, I wake up around 11 or 12 because I work late. I love working late. Um, if you do music full time, if that's what you like doing, especially right now with Corona, since classes are online and all that, bro, don't really listen to the world telling you that you have to get sleep from this time to that time and whatnot and whatnot. Now, I might sound like a douchebag when I'm saying that because I might seem like I'm not caring about your health, but also realize that we're choosing a complete different career path than most people do. This is not a 9 to 5. We are aiming for the 1%. We are aiming for what people don't usually get, what one out of hundreds might get. So if it takes for you to go till 5 to do it, that's the least. That's literally the least. It's the least thing you can do. If it takes for you sacrificing hours of sleep and you having to cope with school tests and quizzes at the same time you're trying to send these samples to this guy because you're trying to make this album, it's the least. It's not new, it's not surprising. You chose this. You chose to be in a career where it would take way more effort than just showing up at your job at 9 a.m. It takes way more than that. So people might give you all types of advices that apply to their lives, but don't ever forget that if you're actually trying to do this for real, whatever you're doing, that R rolled.
Yeah.
Whatever whatever you're doing, understand that it will take this new, different approach that most people might have. Most people might be like, nah, man, gotta do this and gotta go to the. Bro, I ain't been in the gym in 2 years. Am I proud of that? No. If I got placements, held the fuck yes. You feel me? So it's about
Well, the
sacrificing and what your goal is, what you're trying to get. And that's a good part of it. Now, a Nami day is I wake up at like 11 or 12 because I probably went to sleep that late. Have lunch, really good lunch, because I love lunch. And then I I do a little bit of nothing till about 3 p.m. Or I try to catch up with my schoolwork till 3 p.m. And at 3 p.m. I sit down. I'm like, okay, let's go. Ideas. I throw a bunch of ideas. If I catch a vibe, I might go crazy till about 6 to 7. If not, I'll watch some random YouTube videos. This is quarantine time, by the way. And then around 8 p.m., I might go to Tommy Brown's because I have a session or whatnot. Like today, that's the case. I have a session in 3 to 4 hours. So that's kind of what that is. But normal life before Corona happened, I was really just waking up, going to class, leaving class at 4 p.m., going straight to sessions. And days that I didn't have class, because I have class every other day, days that I didn't have class, I would wake up first thing in the morning. I would get stuff ready because I had sessions that day. I went to every session people wanted me to be on. I was in everything possible. I put up at people's houses I didn't know, put up at studios at sketchy neighborhoods. I was outside. I was like, whatever needs, bro, whatever needs to happen, I will fucking go in. So a whole lot of reaching out. But now that things are moving slowly, I'm a bit more prioritized with my time. So the way that my schedule is kind of looking like is now that I have management, they book me. So they'll be like, yo, Nami, you got the next 2 weeks kind of full. Because she knows I do have like to have some free days. So she'll be like, okay, you have Boom and Boom from 3 to 5. You have Boom and Boom Friday from whatnot because he's in a different country and whatnot. And the other times that we're filling up with either in-person sessions or just me cooking up towards something. But the reason why lately that has shifted because a lot of y'all have convinced me to finally work on my own music. So I'm writing. I'm doing a whole lot of writing and a whole lot of
it's about damn time.
Yeah.
It's about damn time.
and figuring that.
um
And yeah, I'll actually play some.
I don't know if you mentioned
Go ahead.
that would be dope. I was gonna say I don't know if earlier you mentioned something about getting some sounds onto Splice, but if you're looking to do that, I might have a connect for you that I'll DM you about
Oh
if that
shit.
is if you wanted to.
great,
Oh
bro.
shit, we can play this on the Zoom. Whoa. I'm dead.
But yeah, thanks, man. This was definitely
Thank you for
it was
always
definitely
like that's really dope. Really do. I might not be as vocal online because sometimes I feel so guilty for replying to certain people and not others. So it kind of feels sketchy. I'm like I send hearts and stuff. But just know everybody here, if I never really gave a lot of love, I really, really, really love you guys. It's very hard sometimes.
Well, that's the whole point of this, you know what I'm saying? Where niggas can talk to you without it being too hard of a task to try and talk to every individual person. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's the key. Yeah, play the joint real quick. I got the next question. The song you want to play?
Okay, sure, son. I could do the Dropbox thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just load it into the studio. That seems like
Yeah.
mind you guys, I'm still trying to find myself sonically. I have no idea where I'm gonna end up. But for now, this is kind of what it is. I don't know what it will become, but I'm actually pretty happy with what it is. So yeah, let me share this screen. I'm happy that at least I'm doing it. That's a cool thing because I can and it's called Himalayas.
You guys, his music's muted, right? Or he's muted by accident.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I just thought that I was gonna mute the microphone because I didn't want it to be feedback.
I need me some silence, so I dive in. Keeping us alive got me dying. I'm tired, but I'm trying. You can see me fall. You can see me fall. You can see me fall. You can see me
That's kind of what that is. I don't know what it is.
Ooh, good kind of on fire. Yo, every comment, yo. Someone dropped on the DSPs.
Appreciate it.
Chris.
All right, hey Nami. Thank you for dropping the gems, bro. Really appreciate it. And it's like blowing my mind that we're the same age too. But I wanted to know like what's your process for making R&B chord progressions?
Click. I just click stuff in, bro. I have no clue how to play. I just be clicking and then I'll find like I'll randomly find like a dissonant note. I'm like, it's over. I'm like, this is the one. I'll be like, oh, cool. Or since my main instrument is my voice, I'll hum chords down. So I'll and stack it with different harmonies, and then I'm like, let me try to find the next one, and then add instruments around that. But that's because I keep control of my voice. If I know how to play keys, raps. But if you're on Eli's class, he's probably told you to learn keys. Learn keys, guys. Don't be like me. I just kind of slipped through that crack and somehow finessed it. But keys are very important. At this point, what's happening in my brain? I'm going, fuck it. I caught an Ariana song without keys, so it's a rap.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely gonna step. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn at some point. I'm just. I don't have anything.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. We got Trevor going up. Yes, sir.
I really appreciate this, Nami. Big fan. Congrats on the Jack placement, and all your success this year.
Song is
Um,
right.
oh, dog,
Song is crazy.
like of all songs to an outro, like that's the songs that you really want, like something that meaningful. Um,
Dude, the streams probably gonna go crazy because it comes right after what's popping. So
oh,
I was so excited because they hit me one day before it dropped. They were like, "Yo, you caught a Jack Harlow joint." I'm like, "No way!"
only a
Like
day before. What the fuck?
yeah. And then I went and listened when it dropped, and I was like, "Oh, that's tight. The song is actually good." You feel me?
That's the one. That's the one. No, and when I heard the trailer, I was like, oh yeah, this is either a Coop or a Nami sample because I'm like, that sound is
That was a
like
Nami sample for real.
no, exactly no, because it was like it had to be. I'm like, there's no way this is anybody else. It's one of these two, and I'm really leaning towards Nami because this year has just been like insane. Like, um, but I guess it's kind of a two-part question. I guess it's like, what's the biggest thing you've kind of learned throughout your music journey? And would you change anything or would you do anything differently?
yeah.
Compared.
Appreciate the question. Appreciate the love. First of all, the biggest thing I've learned, and this is gonna sound very inspiring again, and trying to sound like I'm preaching, but confidence. Just believing in that what you do, because that's gonna lead into my second answer, which is my biggest. The thing I would actually change would be me stop trying to convince people so hard. You feel me? It was a big part of me for a while. Trying to get with this producer, me trying to get in the room with this guy, and I couldn't wait for somebody to say they liked my stuff. I would go to sessions and freak the fuck out. I played like the best 5 joints, and when it get to 6, I'm like, fuck, I start sweating. I'm like, I might not have as many joints as I thought I did. All that is almost non-existent. It's all in your head. So biggest thing I learned was confidence. Biggest regret was trying to convince people all the time. You're never gonna have everybody be satisfied. So it's about like, bro, this is what I do. I'm getting better at it. I'm not complacent. I'm gonna keep striving to make this even better than what it already is. You got to look at people you really look up to and wanting to be way better than them. That's what I did. And I told them to their face. They're my friends now. But I was like, I'm trying to be the best doing this shit. And I was like, I love y'all. I'm gonna go and try and be the best doing this shit. And to this day, I'm trying. I look up to everybody still because I'm a perfectionist. I can never accept that my stuff is as good as people think it is. So, but I kept reaching. I kept being like, nah. If Cooper sounded like this, there's no way I can't do it. If Eli is dropping these packs, there's no way I can do it. If Frank Dukes is making these many numbers on a YouTube video of a sample pack, there's no reason why I can't do it. And even though there might have been reasons, I'm proud for me thinking like that. I'm proud to have been like, bro, there's nothing stopping me from getting that. So that confidence is my proudest possession. And
A lot of people don't like that, by the way.
they could really
Saying.
it
It
doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. Exactly.
Not there. A really good thing I learned the other day was I was having this conversation, and I had a friend of mine going like, "Yo, we need to go to Brazil and do this over there." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to Brazil and run everything in Brazil too." I'm like, "I'm gonna come here, do everything here, go there, I'm trying to be the best everywhere." And they kind of made a joke, and they were like, "Oh, you're really humble today," and it's me. I was like, am I being cocky and arrogant? Like, am I being overly confident? And I went upstairs to talk to a friend of mine, and I was talking to him, and I was like, yo, they just kind of did this comment. It made me feel away. I felt like I needed to talk to somebody about it because I need to understand like what this represents. He was like, basically, what people might tell you sometimes, which he didn't mean in that specific case, but people will be, hey man, tone your confidence down and all the amazing things you see for yourself because it's making me feel uncomfortable. And once I saw it as that, I was like, fuck them. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't. However you see yourself and whatever you believe about yourself, either keep it to yourself or speak it out. But whatever, however people react to it, it does have nothing to do with you.
It doesn't concern you.
Don't be a hassle. But if you're talking about your own self, boost your name up, bro. Be the greatest. If you be better than everybody, because you can. You really can. Sorry, that answer was long.
Hey,
No, that's perfect. Like that's no, thank you. Thank you.
yes, sir. All right, Brando.
Yo, what's good, Nami? Yo, thank you so much for doing this class, bro. It's been like a shot of inspiration that I needed, bro. Like your story and everything, it's been so inspirational. So thank you. But I wanted to ask you about like your first placement, your Bryson Tiller placement, and like what led up to it. I know like you and Reese are on it. I think like my best friend Jacob too. So like, how was that? How did that come about? Like working on that record, and then like yeah, when it came out. So I don't know. Can you talk about that a little bit?
First of all, I want to thank you, Brando, for always supporting. I see your name very often. I see you pop up. I see you on comments and whatnot on live. So appreciate you for showing love.
Love, bro.
Second thing I want to say, Eli knows this. Luigi knows this. I don't know if there's more people that I know in this chat, so that's why I keep mentioning those guys. But Bryson Tiller was my biggest goal.
Vegas.
Right. Yeah.
So
This
I
is crazy.
worked towards that a lot. And I sent a lot of stuff all the time to the people I knew. So I was working with Ness, who happened to be signed or was signed to Trap. So I worked with Ayo, the producer, who did a lot of songs for Bryson Tiller at first. I worked with um, T Minus, who I know had the single on the last album. I was really just sending mad stuff to a lot of people who I know had access to him. But just to give you an example of how important it was, even the guy that signed to Bryson, Ness, that had 9 songs on the last album, his only placement on this one was the one with me. So it's a 10-song project that I sent ideas over ideas. I sent folders over Dropbox links and whatnot. And one day I sent this beat and I'm like, I don't even know why I'm sending the beat because he makes beats with the stuff I send, but I sent the beat anyways. And I sent him the beat, and what ended up happening is an idea that Jacob and his guys had done and sent to Ness. Ness started a drum to it, I think to the sample they had done that featured the vocalist that's also credited. And then he chopped my beat onto his beat. That made the whole hook section. And when you reverse my beat, that became the whole outro to the song. So just to go and show you, regardless of how my sample sound, it was a random beat that I had did me and Reed on a Sunday, and he went and took that, and because it was vocal chops going on and whatnot, I'll actually play it for you right after I answer this question. And like chop it around, he did his thing. You feel me? I was not the main muffled sample and whatnot. I was my work was used in someone else's work that was used. So it was like two beats colliding into one. I was really proud and was happy because Ness was the mastermind behind that. I wouldn't have done that myself. That's really cool to see. Yeah, I hope that answers your question, bro.
Yeah, that was awesome, bro. Thank you.
Shoot, if you can pull up that joint after I got the next person going.
Man, my memory's kind of bad. I think it was.
Yes, sir. Unmute yourself.
I guess you're not trying to unmute yourself. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh, what the fuck? Yo. Yeah. Oh, come on. He can't hear us?
Damn, I gotta
Oh,
mute
man.
you. I gotta mute you, broski. All right, we'll come back to you though.
So this is Inside Outside, me and Reese. Um, and then he chopped those, the 808 with the kick and a snare and the vocals and placed them on the hook section, which is like the whole hook
Oh,
section.
that part.
All night, all night,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fire.
and then revert. It was really cool to see what that came and became. But it was a simple beat. I did little pain. Next question.
JT, you just muted yourself. Unmute yourself.
Yo, what's good? What's good, boys?
What's popping?
Y'all hear me? I, yo, Nami. First things first. I want to thank you for doing this. I fucking love these sample classes. I love like hearing from like-minded individuals, and like hearing the sauce, man. You got so many good pointers.
Honored.
He,
Yo, you hear me?
yeah, and I can hear you.
What was I saying? Shit. I have a question about chord progressions, specifically just progressions in general. How do you stay inspired to make such meaningful progressions like that? I know I hear a lot of people talk about, learning the keys and stuff like that, and I hear that you don't know the keys, and I don't know them either. I draw in all my shit too. It's like I want to know. It's hard for me to like draw in chords and like translate what I got in my head onto the computer, right? Like through my mouse. And I want to know like how do you stay inspired and how do you I guess like bridge that gap?
So this is gonna be bad as fuck, but I have an library of just albums I go around scouting. Not your typical what's being put out album. I barely listen to what's going on right now. Like I barely listen to even a lot of the stuff I produce. I'm always going back for some reason. I'm always looking for the nostalgic element in music. So I stay constantly listening to, like right now, my latest album I just downloaded is by this incredible guy. I hope I read his name all right. Charles Aznavour, Désormais, remastered 2014. And he's a French singer, makes amazing music, and this is what it sounds like.
That's fire.
And right before that, I was listening to Tion Wayne and Dutch Belly, and every I
Banger.
have so many things around my Apple Music library, but I just listen to a whole lot of music, and I try to emulate what they made me feel like on stuff. So that's the reason why my stuff that sound like Nami, like 90s R&B sound how they do, because I was trying to emulate how it made me feel when I heard Bryson singing on top of it. It's about listening and going like, what does this make me feel like? It gives you a certain moment. R&B, R&B was not better back then. You feel me? R&B was not. Nothing was ever better. But the thing that we hold on to is the nostalgic element, because it brings us back to moments. Feel me? The R&B being done right now is incredible. When we have kids, when we're older, when I have kids, I'm not gonna speak for everybody. I'm gonna think that their R&B is nowhere near what we used to do. You feel me? And even further back to '90s stuff. So I just say go and listen, bro. Go and listen to a lot of stuff, and don't shy away from amazing technology like Cthulhu and Scalar and all these plugins that literally just hand you out chords. Here's chords. So don't shy away from. They're incredible. No artist is going, oh no, you use Cthulhu, I'm good. No, that's fucked up.
Facts.
So just use the tools you have. Technology is here. Make the music you need to make. And that's it.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. I appreciate all the love, bro.
Of
Thanks, Eli.
course.
Thanks,
You
Nami.
already know it's
Peace out,
good.
boys.
Of that. If I'm correct, the Danish up next. So just unmute yourself real quick. And I think I'm gonna try and shoot through people real quick. I'll barely try speaking up again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Eli and Nami. Like, huge fan of both of your stuff. First wanted to ask, like, what makes a good sample to you? Because I feel like there's so many different elements. Like, obviously you mentioned texture. There's like warmth. I think it was for the night that I was mentioning like movement, like dynamics. But also, like, I don't know, 'cause it's hard for me to figure out, like, okay, so what's something missing? And I feel like sometimes knowing what to look for helps me like work backwards. Like, what would you say is like a core thing for your samples?
We all work differently, of course. You feel me? Like Eli might approach things differently than I do.
I wasn't gonna lie to you. Let me just jump in real quick before Nami answers. He low-key answered it already. It's that nostalgia. That nostalgia is that feeling. You feel me? Unless I'm wrong, like, you know what I'm saying. Now you can talk. My bad.
Absolutely correct. But that's on the emotional side of things, on what we feel.
Mhm.
We all approach things differently. My approach is reverse engineering. A lot of guys do this. I'm not new to it. But basically, the way I got better at making samples was studying. People are shy away from studying, man. I know it's not math, but there's a lot of things you can gain by just Googling stuff. And a really good way I went about my music was I was going, say, for example, 90s R&B stuff that I do. I will go through videos of Jodeci in the studio. I would listen to uh, videos of them in the studio doing harmonies. I would look at the keyboards they have in the room. And if there was interviews with the producers, I would look what kind of instruments they were using and Google what tools were these guys using, how were they compressing their stuff, what kind of keys were they doing. Say I'm approaching a 90s R&B sample. Now I know that they were using the Timbaland type of drums because that's kind of like what we appeal to. There's a million Timbaland drum kits out there. I know that the DX7 chords are very, very, very present on 90s stuff. I know that I sing the things I write about. I hope you guys don't think I'm singing gibberish when I have vocals on those type of samples. I actually write songs to them and chop them. It's written that them things have meaning because all that comes into making the thing make sense. I write songs, I write lyrics. Shout out Elcon. He just did a sample called Spooky Spider, I think, where it's a spider walking up the stairs. All that matters. It's a cool sample. I love the other stuff on his stuff, but it's what music does your story tell? And so I'm writing that. The type of bass I'm using is a bass that belongs to that era, and that's how I became pretty good at it, about emulating. I know how to go and get the 70s sound because I Googled what these guys were using. I know these guys were using this, and this, and that. It's not for no reason that history exists. Feel me? There's all these guys who work their asses off to figure out how to make music sound good. We can't overlook it. We can challenge it and help it get better, but we can't overlook it. If these guys for years figured out that to make um, folk music or to make country music, you need this instrument, this type of banjo, this type of bass, and they're placed this type of way in the room, and this is the type of reverb you use, and it becomes sonic identities. And if you steal them, you really figure it out. You're basically just going, that's how this and this and this make sound. Let me use these, twist them into my shit, and re-release it. And that's my approach. Just
Man,
reverse, but actually studying what came together to make certain things and flipping them.
bro, I believe in that, and that's what makes Frank so fire too. Like, I can go into deep, like, intellectual conversation about why that is so true, and it's something that I used to like teach heavily. But this reverse engineering feeling, like, even like the fact that RC20 is being used, you know what I'm saying? That's to reverse engineering what people thought like old records sounded like, and everybody fucks with it to the point where it's like some people don't even realize
like RC20 is actually an old thing, but he thinks some new shit. You know what I'm saying? Technically, but
Mario is the guy who really got me to do this technique. Mario, during my class with him, he showed me a book he had of, I think it was Abbey Roads or Ocean Way Studios, where he was going through pages and seeing the whole recording process of like the Beach Boys album. He was going through the recording process of like the Motown stuff. And that's why Mario Luciano has the microphones he has the compressor he has the preamps he has the keyboards and the instruments he has. Because he read those books. Mario's gospel samples sound like they were done back then because they actually were. But today,
oh, that.
those tools, he studied that. And when I saw him do that, I was like,
Yeah, facts. That's just real. That's just real shit, bro. Like, don't sleep on that. That's just some real shit. Even for like, I guess when I started making samples, like 2018 ish, like all I did is read the descriptions of the Kingsway sample, the OBX or the whatever you call that, SMV or whatever. So I was like, all right, how can I get this for me to get that shit? 'Cause at first samples was like this whole like, yo, why does it sound like this? It sounds like so crazy. Realistically, like the whole sauce is right there. And after I took that and after reinterpreted it in the Eli way, then it was a wrap from there. You feel me?
That's amazing. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking the guy that was muted. Can you Josiah, my boy.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me. Yo, what's up, guys? How's it going?
how about you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. So, aside from music, because I know sometimes we're not always inspired to do music. Sometimes we go through like a rut where we're not inspired. What are some ways for you and Eli that you guys get inspired? Let's say like reading and other stuff like that. That helps you get inspired.
How about you, Eli?
It's probably the same shit that honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I really lack inspiration just because I'm so curious as a person. Like I ask way too many questions. Like, why has anyone done it like this? Like, why hasn't anybody tried to make a 702 sample or a mafia sample or whatever? So my mind just going crazy. Just I can't even sleep sometimes, to be honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's just too many ideas, but I know not everybody's like that. And also as well as collaboration has been inspiring me.
Oh, oh, that's sick.
No, I was fucking with you when I said that.
I'm dead.
The way I stay inspired is I would actually bring them, but it's a lot of them. I read a lot of self-help books. So, Manifest Now, Outwitting the Devil, the the Secret. Very recently I just bought this incredible one. Books. I listen to audiobooks because for me it's way easier. I'm not creative attention span. But Raise Your Game by Alan Steiner. That's a great one too. I'll actually post them all on my story right after this game last week.
Hold up. Not speak.
You can hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear
better.
you.
Yeah, I'm my bad. I said I'm actually gonna go and post these books on my story after game class for those maybe actually I'll just write them on the chat. But in other words, what really helped me and being challenged keep me inspired. People get better than me to keep me inspired because I still have some. My biggest fear is reaching perfection while still being a perfectionist. So I just keep working and keep looking for challenges, keep looking for things I can't do, keep looking for music I can't understand because you guys will notice if you haven't. once you start making a lot of music, typical music will not appeal to you anymore. So you'll start listening to stuff that most people don't, and you'll think is normal until somebody goes like, "What the fuck are you listening to?" I'm like, "I'm just listening to this Putumayo album from 1965." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, because they recorded a cello through the H910 harmonizer and it made the lower frequency sound like they were pads, and I love it." And they were like, "You need a fucking doctor," and I'm like, "Yeah, facts." But Outwitting the Devil, Manifest Now, um, just balancing yourself sonically, that shall keep you inspired. A lot of us keep our music taste, and I'm a victim of it too. Keep our music stay very much limited our YouTube recommended now pages and whatnot, and it's unfortunate because there's so much amazing music all over the world. I mean, Brazil, for instance, which was a crazy phase when I first started making samples, I was listening to a whole lot of a whole lot of Gilberto Gil, a whole lot of fucking amazing composers from over there. Joe being, of course, and all the amazing radio with 3os.com. I know about that. Incredible. Just opens you up to new sounds, new ways, new approaches to music. I remember when I first listened to a João Gilberto song where you feel like it never loops. Like our Western type of making music, it's very like, okay, chord one, chord two, chord three, chord four, chord one, chord two, chord three, or whatever might be the case. And Gilberto Gil will play like a chord and then he'll play like two more chords. And you think it's gonna loop back into the first, but he adds like three, four chords before he goes back to the first. But the time signature is still 4/4. So it's like very interesting. It's pretty different approaches to music. It really helps you see and listen to music in a different way. And also girls.
You say girls?
This guy's funny for that one. Whatchamacallit? Oh, this guy is man. I got me too. Come on, hold up. If I am right, Elkin, come up. Ask your answer or ask your question. My bad.
Yo, what's good? What's good, Eli and Nami?
Good.
I just want to give a huge shout out to flipping Eli one time, because like I started making samples like properly. Before I started making like samples, I was a lost man in the world of
Oh
sound.
gosh, I remember.
Then, I took Eli's class, fam. Then when I was taking Eli's class, he really like helped me. Like I don't even know. Like it wasn't really like the VSTs or anything. It was just open my eyes to,
Perspective. Mhm.
yeah, for real. So I know you in the beginning, whilst you're in Cape Verde, like you were close with Coop and
Hmm?
hello. Oh, okay. You were close to Coop, so yeah. I just give a huge shout out to I studied a lot of drum broker samples. Like I just sit there listening to like flipping, I don't know, like Hio De Ramon, Rucker, like Your Packs, Coop. Yeah. Yeah. What was my question? I wanted to ask, like, cause I'm struggling with like school, right? So obviously I'm doing the sample thing, staying up late, making samples, and I don't even have time to do schoolwork. I told my parents like I'm not going to uni because I haven't even told my mom. I haven't told my mom and shit. Like she's in Africa, but I haven't told her yet because I know that's gonna be a mad situation. I'm not,
It was a mad thing.
a mad situation still. Like I'm just gonna. If she asks, I'm just gonna like, well, it is what it, like, I can't really. But yeah, what was your how do you balance like uni with like samples, you know?
So first of all, thank you. Shout out Eli too. Second of all, I didn't know Coop when I was in Cape Verde.
Oh, okay, I thought you did.
Yeah, I
My
didn't.
bad.
I really didn't know anybody. I knew of them, so I tried to get in touch with them.
Mm.
But where later I was able to start connecting with a few of these guys. But I balance, but I just do it. You feel me? You decide if you want to do it or not. I decided I wanted to do it. Feel me? I have mad friends who dropped out and saw success. I have mad friends who dropped out and didn't. I don't have to take their examples. That's
Mm.
you feel me? I made a pact with my parents because they sacrificed a lot for me to be here. And they were like, if you're going there, at least promises that you'll finish school. So I'm never gonna break that because the reason why I'm even getting success in my career at all was because my parents trusted in me for me to come here and finish school. So I'm gonna finish school. I'm gonna finish school, and if I don't, it better be a goddamn good reason, like a Grammy or some shit. You feel me? But besides that, I made a pact with my parents, and I came over here to study. I didn't expect music to take off. That's what most people
Mm.
forget. I came out here for school. Music just kind of did its thing in its own way, the way music does. And now I'm having to cope between having to fly to a Y to help this artist work on this album while still having to be present in class. And those are kind of sacrifices you have to make when things start happening. Because the hardest part is to get in. Once you get in, it's as easy as you.
Wow.
People are starting to invite you to different countries to go work on stuff. You're like, oh shit, word. So
Mm.
it's sacrifices you out. You're willing. Some I failed a class. You feel me? One class. I'm retaking it right now, but it was the class that happened the same month that we were finishing up the Ariana Grande album. So do I feel guilty? No, I feel fine. You feel me? And it's about pushing through that. Retaking this class right now, even though I'm supposed to go on winter break. I have to take time off and make that class up. But it's really about you, what you decide. And
Mm.
if you have a good situation going for you to the point where you feel like university might not be what you're aiming for, do it. I just come from a place where university is your only option. You feel me? Into having a life. Where I'm from, there's no McDonald's where you go to work and make $11 and 12 an hour. We don't have that. Literally, you either educated and you do something with that education, or you live at your grandma's house till you perish. So,
I feel that. I feel that because I lived in. What you say? Sorry for cutting you.
no, my bad. My options were more limited, and that's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. You don't necessarily have to. It really doesn't matter. Whatever your gut is telling you. But I'm currently in school,
I
What do
feel
you
you. What
study?
you studying?
audio engineering.
Oh, that's sick. That's sick. So I'm from like Sierra Leone. It's like I don't know if you know anyone knows what Sierra Leone is, but like it's also West Africa. So I lived there for like 3 years. Well, not like most of my like the years I remember. Like I lived over there. And like now I'm back here. I'm sort of like struggling, keeping up with like, yo, I have to make a pack for da or I want to make a sample. I want to do this and do this and do this. And like, right, like literally tomorrow I have like a 3,000 word essay that counts for 20% of my grade. And I don't know. It's long. It's long. It's long. But um, yeah, thank you for real. When I listen to Pockets, like when I listen to Swimming, especially, like I felt like the sample was moving. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like when I listen to samples, there's not many smooth samples I listen to, but like when it connects with, I don't know how to explain it. Like when you listen to it, you like feel like you feel the emotions the person was going through whilst making it, or the movement. But yeah, I just want to appreciate Nami and Eli for your time. Yeah,
Hey man,
fam.
your essay, you gonna whatever you do, it's gonna be cool. I believe in you, but next time try not wait in last minute. Yeah, 'cause it's a
Hey
tricky.
man, it's long. I'll start typing up right now, fam.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. Good luck with that, Cruddy.
Yeah.
What you call? I got my boy Blue Sound Room up, and that's gonna be the last one. So unmute yourself, Cruddy.
Yo, you can hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you still.
Hey, what's going on, Nami? Eli, appreciate you. I know we spoke about this multiple times.
Facts.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, Nami, sometimes I don't feel like doing a sample, like sometimes I'm in this, I guess, a rut where I don't have any inspiration or I really don't want to simply sit down, but I also feel like it's a day wasted. And I'm not the type to do 5, 6 samples a day. I do 1 or 2. I focus on quality. I really I want something that's gonna make me jump out of my chair.
Yep.
So sometimes there's days where I just don't feel like doing it. And also I'm looking to get my first pedal. So what do you suggest?
First pedal, can't go wrong with Cooper FX arcades. The reason why arcades comes with chips. Chip one, 2 more in here. You got one. This is a lo-fi. This is a reverb pit. You got the synth one. You have the reverse one. There's just loads of there's a whole lot of presets on each. So it's about 9 to 10, I think, on each card. So you got a good bunch of presets that you can tweak on each card, and then you have like 5 to 6 cards. So that just means that you have a whole lot of things to do with one pedal. Just one pedal.
This one right here?
Cooper FX Arcades. It's not even that stupid pricey.
Yeah.
So I would say Arcade is definitely the go. If I knew this before I bought a lot of stuff that I'm not even using as much because I have Arcade now, I would have done it. So I would definitely suggest Arcades. Why? Because you have access to more stuff. One thing, right now I'm about to travel Tuesday and I'm taking only one pedal and this sachet full of fucking.
It's crazy.
Take
Yeah.
one pedal and I have reverb, delay, all the stuff I need with one bag. So that's really the way to go. And in terms of staying inspired, bro, it's okay if you don't make a lot. I make 3 4 samples tops a week. You feel me? I've never been a crank out 100 stuff guy. Don't do that. I hate that. I feel it when I feel it, and when I don't, I'm on Netflix. You feel me? And beforehand, I used to put a lot more pressure to myself, and to this day, I deal with that. Where it'd be like, I'll try and come up with something the whole day, I can't, and then it's 9 p.m. and I feel guilty as fuck. So I
No,
start
thanks.
something at 9, and that's why I work very late because I just end up procrastinating a whole lot. But it's okay. It comes with it. You're not a machine. You're a human being. So a good way for me to stay inspired, which is what I do to this day, is movies. I'm a movie guy. Love movies. I love horror movies to be specific. That's why there's a lot of kind of those little attributes and touches on my samples that I have cinematic elements because I'm a huge fan of horror movies. How did they make somebody somebody will stomp on the floor and they'll like reverse it, add distortion, add reverb, and then compress it with like 3 compressors, and that'll be like the fucking noise of the monster. Like that has always been fascinating to me, especially watching the videos of the composers like going through how they made it. So I watch movies a lot. So I'm pretty sure every single time, right after watching a movie, I'll be inspired. That's my thing, though. You'll probably find your thing, but for me, it's like, okay, I'll go and watch this new movie. Right after that, I'll probably do something that inspired off that what I just watched. You feel me?
Yeah.
That I hope I answered.
It's fire.
Appreciate it. I just want to say thank you. Beyond the whole music, sonic thing, all the gems, I can speak for myself, and I'm sure a lot of us too. The spiritual gems, just who you are as a person, character wise. It was very life changing, and out of all the classes Eli's brought, yours yours was definitely the most impactful by
I
far.
mean,
By far, and you
I
were so
mean,
transparent and comparing you into like the last class. You're not dropping names and nothing, but it's just like two different types of people. Two different types of people, and it's very,
Oh shit.
it's very, apparent. And to me, you have more success. And it's not even about that, but because I'm more in your lane. I like the R&B, the Jack Harlow. I'm more in your niche. So with you being so successful, still being so genuine, still being so, humble, it's a big thing, especially because us being the same age. Like it's like a role model type thing. You feel me? So I really appreciate you because when my time comes, I want to remember like, yo, I was still in the basement, but bro got on the Zoom call and he was cool as fuck, working with everybody I want to work with. So like, I can never let shit get to my head ever. And you share everything,
Hell yeah.
everything, everything. So thank you.
I have to thank you because your words were extremely kind. I'm actually very honored and can't thank you enough for that. I was telling Eli, like I was impressed and surprised. People were actually willing to listen because I'd be so zoned out. I forget that. Sometimes I wish somebody had that openness. So I'll always either be this guy or work my best on maintaining this because there's obviously growth that comes with people. But the most important things is remembering exactly where you were because I get to see myself in a lot of people, and I'm not that far off in my career. Like we could have this Zoom class again in 5 years.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Nah, facts. I appreciate you, bro. Of
Yeah, you too, Eli. I appreciate it, bro. You know how much we spoke about this,
course.
where I came in, and now where I'm at. You feel me? So I
Of
really
course.
appreciate you.
Of course, man.
Keep pressing them keys. And actually, Eli, if you don't mind, we can answer like two more because I feel like
You got time? I'm about to make that the last one.
okay, make the last one. Last
All
one.
right, yeah, all right. So someone in the comment, now we're gonna choose you. Just to go crazy in the comments. Who has the last question? You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's worthwhile. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta read the comments. If anybody has a question, if not, we could just dip. Go.
Yeah, if you guys don't got no questions, then you skate.
This guy PDR said he got a question.
No one's typing. All right, bet. Yeah, you got the last question, Risky. Unmute yourself.
Is it me, fam?
Yes, sir. Ski.
Respect. How you doing, bro? Yeah, I wanted to say thank you guys for sure. Definitely, like a lot of gems, and the mind knowledge, the spiritual knowledge is.
Yeah, this nigga got that.
Yeah,
This boy Nami. Come on.
it's good. And it's also like from the stuff you're talking about, it's like it's cool to see someone that's young like you with that energy, but applying it. You know what I mean? Because like dog, your mans have that like yeah, you don't apply it, nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying on that case. But I wanted to ask, and this can go to you too, Eli. Like this is something like basically when you guys are thinking of say a project, like say the sample pack itself and the idea, like how you guys, what is your process or state of mind of being like, hey, I want to work on this type of project. I'm going to organize these things. This is what I'm going to be aiming for. Like some type of syllabus thing, say for like anyone that wants to start building a pack and really like, dealing with everything.
Eli, you want to go? Should I go?
I'll go real quick. I mean, for me, sample pack is just a time capsule. So it's just what I'm feeling from that period making it. My last one, Sound Vibrations, was just me saying, yeah, I just want to make timeless music that was out of the box. So that's like a lot of big gospel stuff and whatever. But it was just more or less like me and my life and as Nami would say, the movies I watched. So yeah, that was me for sample packs. And that's how it is generally, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. For me, I watch approach everything as if you were an artist. Why? You are.
Yeah, I am.
People put us in. You're actually an artist.
Yeah, like I went to school to learn audio engineering. I've been rapping and singing, and then I'm learning.
You'll take this advice even more personally. But for those of us who are primarily producers or writers, people try to take us away from the spotlight, obviously, because we don't have the music videos, we don't have the singles dropping. We're basically providing a service for those to happen. But don't forget that you yourself, you're an artist. When you open your FL Studio or Ableton or Logic or whatever you might use, and there's nothing, zero, nothing exists, so zero, and you create something out of that, that's the best gift God or the universe could have given to you, is the gift of creation. You get to invent something that's inexistent. That's so crazy. I hope you guys realize that every day, like that you actually get to create something out of nothing. Most people can't do that. So treat yourself as an artist because you actually are, and approach everything in your business in that direction. For example, I'm dropping a sample pack. I got so I got so far away from looking at it as a sample pack perspective, working with it with Teddy or with Coop, that we were treating it as important as it was that for our album. We were making sure the artwork looked and felt like the album. We were making sure that the track list made sense. We were making sure that however we wrote the title made sense. And should we put parentheses? Should we not? Should we have the Instagram ads or just our names? Should we do the underscore thing? Nah, not the underscore thing. That's not. You feel me? Just going over and over and experimenting because that's our art. That's our way to put things out. If we're releasing a pack, if we're sending it to somebody, look, I'm actually such a weirdo with this. When I send somebody a pack on an email, right? A producer, you'll be like, send a pack. I'll send it. I'll open it from my email and listen to it from my email just to put myself in his position and see how he would listen to it. That's how I approach everything. You feel me? It's the same thing as the car test. You're putting yourself in position, trying to see that. However you release it, it's in its best form. I listen to stuff from the text, play from the phone. Like, what if he just presses it right now? Does the low end translate well? All that. You feel me? So just make sure that whatever you go and step into, treat it as you would if you were an artist signed to a label and you're dropping an album every time, because that's gonna translate into you only putting your best work out, and you'll have an incredible history. Like, I'm proud of my first pack. I know that regardless of what I become throughout my career, people trace it all the way back to Nami Insomnia Volume 1. I'm gonna be proud of that. I'll be like, yeah, this is my fucking first pack. This is kind of fucking cool. Be proud of that. You feel me?
Yeah.
That going. I hope that answers it.
No, it helps. It helps. It helps put things in perspective, especially like thoughts that I've been having, thoughts I've been having and conversations I've been having with people, right? Like the whole sociological, like social side of things, and not just the aspect of like just creating. But yeah, I you gave me a bunch of ideas to work with too, just from that, like just thinking about that, and you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I appreciate that. To both of you.
Of course. And fuck, as Mans were saying, they were saying like almost like 4 hours. So it's just like gotta like, you know what I'm saying? But nah, like Nami, I already knew, just knowing you and the conversations we had, I already know I want to have you on here from way before. It was just about fitting the schedule right. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know you're a busy guy for real, for real. Yep.
Yeah, I hear you. I just
Okay.
I show the guys how my pedals are set up because I saw some questions. So keep talking.
Oh, whatchamacallit? But yeah, nah, everybody, I thank all of you guys for coming through and staying this long. We still have a lot of people in here, and even for trusting me in general to like to do classes and pull this off. You know, guys, like once I saw the reception to everything, I was like, all right, bet I gotta give it to them. They're giving it to me, I gotta give it to them. You feel me? Like that's how it felt. And it's just like a continuous cycle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yo.
You know, I look up to you a lot. We talk all the time anyway, so
Yeah, facts.
Eli's a really cool guy. If you guys are in his class or just around his community, I know he has a Discord or something. I don't know how Discord works or Twitch.
Yeah.
Not good with all that stuff. I know that whoever's in that community and amazing, keep listening to this man. He's smart as fuck.
Yes, Sirski. You want these guys? So you want to show your shit, and after that, everybody, because now it's a wrap, so you can cut whenever you want. I'm about to get everybody to unmute themselves, if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. My setup is basically so I'm holding my computer. Okay, I have. Hold on. Okay. Okay. So what's happening is I have line out from my Apollo or whatever interface you're using. So I have line out, which is this blue one.
Bruh.
I have line out traveling all the way into this baby, and the into lining of this baby, and then this one is leaving and it's going into this one, and this one is leaving and it's going into this one, and this one is leaving and it's going into this one, and the output of this one is traveling all the way back into the line input right here. You feel me? So basically what I'm doing is I'm sending sound number 4 and I'm running them through all of these, but I don't necessarily need to use all of them. So I can mute this one. You feel me? So it goes straight to this.
Mad disrespectful, eh?
Bro.
Whatever might be the case. And that's kind of how my pedals are set up. Now, since I have more than one thing, like I have this baby, the organelle, this is going into the mixer. The pedals are all going to the mixer, and my profit, everything that I have that's output goes straight into that mixer before it goes into my Apollo. But that's also because I have too many little things now, and yeah. So the smarter move would be to get a bigger Apollo that has a bunch of inputs. That's all. That's pretty expensive. So yeah. With that being said, that's my setup. I really appreciate you guys having me. I'm still mind blown that you guys were willing to listen for all this time. I'm honored to have shared my stuff with y'all. It's really mostly about just staying focused. Keep getting to it, but don't forget to have a destination in mind. We can work really hard, but have a reason to work hard for it, then it's just a bunch of hard work that stays in collapse. So kind of work towards something, be smart about it, and keep being amazing people, funny people, inspiring people. This is our community. I fuck with y'all. Y'all fuck with me. Hopefully, we fuck with each other. This is how we get things to go. This is how we grow conversations and whatnot. And
Thanks.
from having this thing happening.
Well, yeah.
Same. All right, go.
So-
All you guys gonna unmute yourself. I'm about to do gallery review.
Hey, I got one question, bro. Since you don't play the keys, how do you run MIDI through your Prophet?
FL Studio?
Yeah.
MIDI.
There's some MIDI plugin kind of thing you can route your things through.
Oh, okay. I probably could just look that up on YouTube then.
I got you. So
Okay, bet.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn my Prophet on, and then what I'm gonna add is this VST called MIDI out.
Okay.
And on this one, if I'm correct, I'm gonna select like port number 10, whatever, it doesn't matter which one, right? And then I'm gonna have this MIDI